The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight on this Halloween night, Tyrone Thompson. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is October the 31st, 2024, and it is Halloween. If you're out there trick-or-treating, I hope you get you some candy, get all sweet tooth and sugar highs and whatever. You just need to watch those kids when they're eating all that candy. It ain't safe for them, but let them enjoy themselves. You know, you only live once. You're only a child once. Let them children eat that candy. But anyway, welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and we are 5 days away from having a new president of the United States of America. You know, I know everybody who's participating in politics is probably sitting on pins and needles waiting for the outcome. I know I am. But the most the most curious thing to me is why are we this even why are we even this close between the candidates here? I don't get it. But that just tells you about where we live at. But anyway, welcome to the show. Hope you're having a good night. It's what is this, fall or whatever? Getting ready to go into winter. And it's pretty nice outside. It ain't bad. I like this type of weather. I don't like it too hot and too cold. So, down here in South Carolina where I'm at, I mean, the weather's pretty nice. I like being outside this time of the year, looking at the different colors on the trees and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, like I said, it is getting crazier and crazier the closer we get to election. The Trump people are crazy. Kamala Harris is trying to stay above the fray, stay professional and eloquent, just like the Democrats always do. I think that's the main reason that they lose a lot of stuff, but I appreciate it at the same time. When you're not slinging mud and getting dirty just like everybody else, it do show that there is some value and dignity and some professionalism on at least one side of politics. Even though politics has got its own problem, you got the side that is just ratchet and dirty and nasty, and they don't even give a shit about how they talk. The strange thing is, I remember getting critiqued, or the African American community being critiqued on about how we act, right? How we conduct ourselves. If you can remember, it was all about pull up your pants. They had this whole thing about fix your hair and shave and walk straight and don't talk with a slang and all of this. They always try to correct us about our behavior. That's been my entire life, until recently. It kind of died off, all the critiques about our community and how we are, our antics. We even had it here on the show, right? I come on here and I say what I say and I talk how I talk, and other people talk how they talk, and you would have people like Mr. Solutions. He was bad for it. He would call in here and tell us how country we was. He would He'd get on me. He'd get on Mama's Boy. He'd get on a whole bunch of, I guess, Shabazz. I don't know if y'all remember him, but he would try to correct our behavior and the way that we are. And you go through that as a black person in this country where everybody tried to tell you you're not speaking the King's English, and you're not speaking correctly, and all of this kind of stuff. And they would just tell us if we just did right, if we just behaved and learned and did what we would be better off. That's the end goal of the message. Just act right, and this country would treat you right, right? Act right, and the police won't be locking you up or beating you up. Just act right. You get an education, you get a good job, and all this. You just act right, you know. And this acting right is just basically um, to for them giving us a message to act white. That's all it was, because well, let me just try to explain with me understanding where I come from, how my ancestors got here, and how I ended up with the dialogue the dialect that I have, and what it comes from, and why we speak slang, and all of that kind of stuff. It's just evolution of us having a history of being enslaved, and just us trying to fit into a society that we didn't create. So we created our own little subculture, if you will, our own behaviors, our own dialect, and all of that. So I understand. I sometimes this slang can get to me, especially with the new people nowadays. Sometimes I can't understand that stuff, but I understand my generation and how we talk to each other. And then it's sectionalized in the damn country. You got people from California speaking a certain way, people from New York speaking a certain way, and people from the South. Of course, we got our own distinct way of speaking. So it wasn't a thing to me to see other black people behaving and speaking the way that they speak. It wasn't something that bothers me. But because of our behavior and what we do, it was always an insult on our intelligence, right? And when they insult your intelligence, then they're just saying you're sub this type of society. You're beneath. That was the insult. And what I'm getting around to is all of those insults toward the black community, all of this ratchet ass shit that they accuse us of. All you can do is look at Donald Trump and his ilk and see that there is no type of repercussions or insults on their behavior. They're acting way worse than any black person or African American that I know. Just this week we had news stories during the elections where there was people showing up to the damn election polls with fucking machetes. Trying to intimidate voters. Because this ratchet ass motherfucker is running around here already claiming that there's fraud, that there's people cheating in the election. What's up, MJ? And what's up, Frodo? That there's people cheating in the election. And he's just lying and continuing to be this disgusting piece of shit that he is. And getting people, pitting people against each other in this country. And that wasn't the only incident. There was other incidents that happened at the polling stations where and it's only Trump people. These Trump people are running around here talking about fraud and trying to change the way or behavior of whoever is voting in line and asking them who they voting for and all this kind of. They're just stupid low character, unintelligent, stupid ass people. That I can't think of another word but stupid. That's all I can think of. That's how I describe them. Just like when I was talking to Sarge last week. It, that stupid motherfucker. He calls in here and he try to defend every fucking thing that the Republicans do. I think that's dumb. You can't even have the conversation with a motherfucker like Sarge or ABC because it doesn't it doesn't matter what it is that they do. Donald Trump has been found guilty, found liable of all kinds of crimes. And when you listen to his stump speech and his racist behavior and the people that he has gathered up, you can see that this is no one that should be emulated, copied, followed. This is not a leader. He's just not a leader. He's a ratchet ass, law breaking, wanting to destroy the Constitution. He has no morals, no ethics. There is nothing that anyone should see in this country about that man that says that he needs to lead a nation. But me saying all of that, and I'm absolutely 100% correct in my assessment, me saying all that doesn't stop the cult behavior and the cult following of damn near half of the voting population. And this thing is bewildering to me. I'm confused on how these people can still follow this guy, and I kind of named the damn show kind of funny because for some reason, was it this week or last week, this damn Hawk Tuah girl, this Hawk Tuah girl has been showing up in my feed, and I don't know if y'all know about Hawk Tuah, but this is one girl on social media that got famous by doing a street interview, and I'm not panicking, ABC. It's a close race, and I really want the outcome. But it's this girl who was doing a street interview on one of these what they call it, RL, real life streams or whatever. And she was doing a street interview, and I guess the man was asking her like a social question, like, what do you do to make sure that your man stay with you or something like that. And her answer was so funny and it just went viral, So she's everywhere now. She's got her own talk show. She's doing interviews and I'm getting every one of these damn videos that she's on. And I'm like, wow, that girl got famous for saying some of the most disgusting stuff that you could probably say on a camera. So here was her answer.
You gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
And she was saying to answer that question about how you please a man or whatever she was saying in the bedroom. She said, you got to give him that hawk tour and spit on that thing. And I was like, what the hell? And people enjoyed that. They made memes out of it and all of this kind of shit. And it's just, I guess it is kind of funny. So with me, being inundated with that damn girl talking about Hawk Tour, I decided, these people behavior, the MAGAs, the ABCs of the world, the Sarges of the world, they like this Hawk Tour girl. They do anything that they can to please their party. So they just Hawk Tour and they spit on that thing. When ABC was faced with a pandemic that was killing millions of people, tens of millions of people, instead of him seeking out the proper medical advice, he just Hawk Tour and spit on that thing, and he took some goddamn horse pills. And see, that's how that fits in there. You got to work with Tyrone's mind. You know, ABC and his damn horse pills, Hawk Tuin. Let me see who this caller is. Who this on the line?
This is Mama's boy Tyrone. I gotta intervene.
Go ahead, man.
I gotta intervene, brother. You must have been listening to our late night because that's Sarge's nickname.
Hawk Tuin.
Me and Jay New York came up with that shit a couple of nights ago.
Well, that suits him. That suits him. That suits them. I don't know why this girl was showing up in my feed, but she been showing up in my feed all week, and I said that's MAGA right there.
We're gonna start calling them the Hawk Tour Boys.
That's exactly what they do. Especially, I mean, both of them do it, but Sarge, Jesus Christ, he hocked.
Hey, Sarge admitted to us that he was a Hawk Tour boy about Ted Cruz. You remember that, Tyrone?
Yeah. He spit on that thing.
Well, let me get over here, man. I'm gonna get you in trouble on you.
Okay.
But I'm hanging out. I just thought I'd chime in on that. Had to intervene, brother. You trademark infringing. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh. Well, see, I didn't even know, folks. I didn't even know that was already out in the ether. And somebody else, they thinking just like me, because that's the behavior that these people have when it comes to MAGA. When it comes to anything on the right, ABC and Sarge is spitting on that. They just hot doing and spitting on that thing and just doing whatever they need to do. But if you just, break down the psychology of it, what this young lady was saying is that she will do this to please her partner in the bedroom, and that's the extent that she would go to please her partner when she's doing whatever, right? So Sarge and ABC will go just as far, do anything. It don't matter how disgusting it is. It don't matter what it is, to please their political ideology. It's the same mindset. It just is. And these people on the right, like I said, we got criticized as a community for speaking wrong, right? Nigga, quit saying that. Well, you quit doing that, ABC. ABC, listen, that's what you are to a dude. That's what you are. But these people on the right would criticize us on our behavior, on how we act, on how we dress, on how we talk, all of that, right? But when you look at Donald Trump and the Republican Party, just this week at a rally in New York, one of Donald Trump's surrogates, a comedian, got on stage and they talked shit about Puerto Rico, right? The guy said that, there's a pile of trash sitting in the middle of the ocean, and he think they call it Puerto Rico. Now, this is kind of deep to me, because even though we are Americans, right, the Puerto Ricans have lost their motherfucking way in this country. And I don't disparage no group of people like that, but I'm just saying that the Puerto Ricans think that they're in the clubhouse. The Puerto Ricans will vote fucking Republican in a goddamn heartbeat because they have a lighter complexion and they're able to stand on the other side and point fingers at the darker skinned Americans and side with white America and reap the benefits, if you will, of white America. And they have every right to do that. And I'm just saying that when the rubber hit the road with these people, and we've known this as an African American community since we've been here, when the rubber hit the road with these people, you ain't nothing but another N-word, Mr. and Mrs. Puerto Rican. That's all you are. That's all you are. And then, you got some people in our community that Well, no, some people in the Puerto Rican community that do have their eyes open and they realize what racism is and they don't play that game. So I can't take that away from those folks, right? Because you do have like both sides of the coin here. But to the ones that think that they're in the clubhouse, to the ones that think that, because hey, I'm Puerto Rican and I'm not black, the white man ain't gonna treat me like he treat those black people. You see firsthand at the top of the ticket with a presidential candidate that they calling your motherfucking ass trash. And I was reminded this week, Mr. Puerto Rican, that Donald Trump tried to swap your whole motherfucking island for Greenland. I don't know if y'all remember him trying to buy some of Greenland, but Puerto Rico was in the deal. He was trying to give away Puerto Rico so he could get Greenland. Let me see if I can find that.
Hey, Tyrone, just to mention, to add insult to injury to Puerto Rico, you remember Donald Trump withheld that disaster relief from them for 3 years. So to even say something like that after Donald Trump withheld disaster relief from them and for 3 years, so the cleanup from all the hurricanes and shit was going to take a little longer. That's to me just diabolical.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that he did. But here's the article from Vanity Fair headline: Trump wanted to trade Puerto Rico for Greenland. Oh, let me put this stuff back up. Y'all don't see it. There it go right there. From Vanity Fair. Oh, my time went out. I guess I got to pay. Let me find another article. There it go. Trump wanted to trade Puerto Rico for Greenland. Yes, he was completely serious. The report says in 2019, Donald Trump asked his lawyers to look at buying Greenland. It was like a storefront in the Midtown. He was going to turn into a 7-Eleven. And then Donald Trump, after Denmark, in which Greenland is part of, unsurprisingly declined, deeming the idea absurd. Trump threw a massive hissy fit and called the Danish Prime Minister nasty. Once they turned him down. I'm trying to get to the part to where Puerto Rico is.
Yeah, I remember that news conference. He got caught up on the word absurd.
Yeah. Okay.
You looking, Tyrone, my Trump's favorite interview for me in my lifetime, when he was trying to say the words origins of the Mueller investigation, and he kept saying oranges. You can YouTube that, y'all. That shit is hilarious. He couldn't say origins. I think that's a victim of a stroke right there. But
yeah, he's a dumbass. But I'm just gonna hit this paragraph right here. It says at the time, Bolton was worried about China's growing influence in the Arctic and was reportedly interested in the idea of an increase in American presence in Greenland. But he knew that literal purchase of the country was not going to happen. However, Trump, who famously had the mind of a child, insisted that he could get it done. At that point, Per Baker, the former president, suggested taking federal money from Puerto Rico to fund his idea. He also suggested outright trading Puerto Rico for Greenland. When this obviously a complete insane proposition, it's not at all hard to picture the ex-president pitching the deal, given that he's the one's history's biggest moron. So they talking shit about Trump, shitting on Puerto Rico. Okay, so Puerto Ricans, I don't know why we're even having this debate, and why the Democrats should have to pander to you not to vote for Republican. Donald Trump had a rally, and I guess it was this famous Puerto Rican up there called Bad Bunny. I don't know who the fuck Bad Bunny is. Or Nikki Starks. Nikki something. Nikki, hold on. And Donald Trump was trying to call this person on stage. And he's a Puerto Rican performer or something like that. And Donald Trump was calling this man a woman and didn't know who he was. And when the guy showed up on stage, I don't know the guy's name, but when the guy showed up on stage, he went on to praise the Republicans. He went on to praise Donald Trump. He went on to scream, "Make America Great Again" in his Puerto Rican accent, all of that. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? This guy didn't even recognize that you was a guy, for one, and he don't know who the fuck you is. So that's telling you that he don't give a shit about the Puerto Rican culture or you. But this guy went on to endorse Trump on the stage. Then after the meeting in New York the other night, this guy came out and said, "I'm not endorsing anybody." I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Puerto Ricans. I mean, I know we got some people like ABC and Sarge out here hot tooing all over the goddamn place, but for the most part, the Hispanic population at large in this goddamn country should mostly be, run away from the damn Republican Party because they don't give a shit, because these people are 180 degrees fucking racist. If you ain't white, you ain't right, according to these people, and that's just a fact. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Down here in North Carolina, where I'm from, we've got Native Americans, the Lumbee Indians, and all of them motherfuckers is Trump supporters. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all don't see it? But let me tell y'all what happened and why it's that way, I think. Let me see who this unknown caller is. Who's this caller?
What's going on, brother?
What's up, Jay? I'm gonna let you get in there, but let me explain this about how it got that way. I think it got that way because for years, Fox News, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, right-wing talk radio, all the propaganda that was aimed at the Democrats, demonizing Democrats, saying that Democrats eat babies, saying that Democrats are unchristian, saying that Democrats are just devils, and all of that stuff sunk in, right? And people believe that stuff to their core. So without any pushback from the Democrats, they just say, okay, well, that's just Fox News just talking stuff. That's just Bill O'Reilly on the air. And they don't push back at all at that. But people are sucking that stuff up. The reason that they sucking that stuff up all these years is because that's the number one cable goddamn news show in America, and it has been for fucking years. So they have an audience. They have an audience that's listening. So that audience that they have is believing all of the lies and all of the demonization and all of this bullshit about Democrats. And the Democrats do not push back one motherfucking bit. So what did that mean? So that means whenever it's time for the people to show up, all of this propaganda is running throughout society. So you got some black men that says, hey, it was said on Fox News, it must be true. You got some Native Americans say, hey, Fox News, they're the biggest ones, so it must be true. You got the Puerto Ricans saying, oh, well, I listen to Fox News, and I like a couple of those hosts on there, it must be true. So you let all this propaganda just go throughout the country all of these damn years without any pushback. And the only time you push back on it is election season. That's the only time. And that's why you're having such a hard time with, they say, black men. That's why you're having a hard time with female voters. That's why you're having a hard time with these other groups, like some Puerto Ricans who are conservative. And if they are conservative, then they're going to listen to Fox News. They let them demonize MSNBC. MSNBC is not the opposite of Fox. But the way they paint the picture is like MSNBC is supporting the damn Democrat Party like they have the propaganda for Fox. No, the fuck they don't. They just don't. Sometimes they piss me. Look, they got rid of my girl Tiffany Cross. They got rid of fucking Keith Overman. They get rid of motherfuckers that don't fucking toe the line that for the corporations. MSNBC is a piece of shit station. They got fucking Republicans hosting the fucking shows on MSNBC. When you look at Morning Joe, when you look at Bush's press secretary, whatever.
Michael Steele.
Yeah, you look at Michael Steele.
The lady.
Yeah,
She does
I forgot.
on 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon every day. Yeah, I know.
Nicole Wallace. You look at Nicole
You talking
Wallace.
about Dateline? Yeah, you talking about Dateline?
Yeah. So whenever
you
look
talking
at
about Dateline?
Whenever you look at all of these,
MSNBC at 4 o'clock every day.
Yeah,
that's called Wallace. Dateline. Yeah, that's her. That's the name of her show, Dateline.
Mm-hmm. But whenever you look at all of these people on MSNBC that is Republicans, and they're hosting and giving messages and news to the fucking left from a Republican perspective, you got to be shitting me if you're telling me that MSNBC is the opposite of Fox. You don't have no fucking Democrats host on Fox News. None. They used to have Hannity and Combs, and they beat and abused that motherfucker and kicked him off the goddamn air.
They combed them out. They combed them out.
Yeah, like a perm.
So it's just not. So the Democrats allowed Fox News and Rupert Murdoch and all of this propaganda to stay out there for years and years and years and years and years. And now you're having problems with the people like Puerto Ricans, and then you're having problems with black men, and then you're having problems with Hispanics, and then you're having problems with, because you ain't doing nothing to counter the message from fucking Fox News. You just ain't. Even right now during this goddamn election season, Donald Trump and Fox News are allowed to sit on that air and just blatantly lie.
Yep.
They just lie. I don't give a shit what the fucking Jesse Waters is a fucking liar. That's all here. Judge Janine, she need to go somewhere and stop drinking for one and get her old ass off the damn stage because they lie. And then you got fucking Jesus Christ. I'm gonna shut up. But Jay, what you think about what they said about Puerto Ricans and their response?
Let me go to my half-blooded family, and well, this is the thing, right? I got some family members that's idiotic like that and thinking ignorant, which is like fucking crazy. But I think is a syndrome that most of all nationalities that come here, right? At some point, whether they were here for 40 years, 50 years, I think that our people, and when I say our people, is coming from all different backgrounds, right? Whether it be the Caribbean, Black African American, Asian, they get comfortable, right? And they feel that the white man is accepted them, and and they okay, and now they're Americanized. I'm American, so I'm feeling that America accepts me. And a lot of times people get this in their mindset that they're just plain American. There's no racism, and boom, they end up getting jacked up. This dude here, he's in a different money bracket. He's living a millionaire lifestyle. He's like upscale. He doesn't really know what's going on with politics as much as he's a Spanish reggae artist. That's how you could compare him, Nicky Jam, right? And it goes to show you that as much as he's not educated on him, Donald Trump wasn't educated on him, and vice versa. So how do these two come together? One has his mindset on, well, if I get next to him, then I get more popularity. I don't know, like a Kanye West. So the best way that I can describe this guy, the Nicky Jam and the Annual guy, the other dude that's having some other issues as well, that they lined up next to Donald Trump, and for me, is almost like they clout chasing. And they are popular within the reggae, the Spanish reggaeton, movement in the music industry, right? And they actually like very well known worldwide. But I don't know, they still trying to seek some validation and really crazy. They're almost like the mindset of the people in the 80s that got fooled by him in New York before they knew who he really was, right? So there was, Puff Daddy and them, even though, not to bring him up, but he's one of them, as well as a lot of other artists back then that used to try to line up with him because Donald Trump fooled their ass telling them that he had more money than what he did. So, people are trying to be on next to him to try to get some validation from the white rich community and from their own community to show, oh, well, I made it and I'm here with Donald Trump, right? So that's, I think, a lot of the mentality is, when you're dealing with other people that are maybe making more money, people in that. Now, the average person, average working person, I think that it's a lack of education to a certain degree and comfortability, thinking I made it, and and the skin too. If you think you think you more right or you more closer to being accepted, when that's far from the truth. So again, I think that people feel like they done made it, that they're different from the others of their own, and they're on a higher level. They're on the motherfucking mountaintop, and they're looking at everybody down. And here I am with this one, and I'm trying to validate myself. And another one is lack of education. Education is key, and people have been flooded, just like everybody in all backgrounds, that are flooded with the propaganda, misinformation on the internet. And the confusion has messed up a lot of people, and the comfortability has messed up people, because that's why Florida, they fighting for Florida. You got all these Latin backgrounds. I think it's probably the most multicultural in the sense of all the Latin communities are there, right? South America, or everybody from South and Central America, the Caribbean is in Florida. A lot of them is in Orlando, and it's a racist state to me, right? Like, as much as Florida's a beautiful state, there's a lot of racism there. There's a lot of old traits there, and I believe that it's almost similar to a lot of the Cubans out there. I say this. I was thinking about this. Two things, right? You have those Cubans that came from the refugee shit when the whole thing came in the 80s, right? And that's some that you heard in the last, I don't know, maybe 2 years. It was like, oh, well, we voted for Trump because we know what it is to be under dictatorship, and, we don't want to go back to the Castro. Now, I'm saying, well, how the hell y'all thinking about that? He's the one that's going to put your ass in that shit. Yeah. He's going to jam your ass up and bring you back to the Castro day. I don't know how they was able to switch up the mindset for them and say, well, he's going to be the savior, and then comparing everybody else to say, well, we're going to go back to what it is in Cuba. And I'm saying, yeah, but you think this guy's going to save your ass? Okay. Another thing is that you got now those are the ones that came from over there, that they're paranoid, and there's, because of their own, experiences, which is understood, but the mentality of them coming here and thinking that they're going to do that to them here with the opposite person versus Donald Trump that talks like a dictator. I don't understand how that confusion is. But then you have those that are Americanized, that are born here, whether it's Cuban American, Dominican American, Puerto Rican. We go down the line. That's down in South Florida, and they think their ass is white. They think their ass is Donald Trump. Donald Trump respects them, loves them, and that's going to support them. And guess what? You're not going to get shit. This is for the record. Next week, he will be losing. But I'm going to tell you, as this continues, people need to start decompressing from the bullshit. There's a lot of people that's in this warp. This time warp is almost like they're connected to these machines and shit, and somebody's fucking pressing the button, and they're going out and doing the same shit. It's incredible how we have different minds. Like I said, I got family members and friends that think like that, and I'm just shocked to think that. I was like, damn, like, for real? Are you serious? Or are you joking? You pulling my leg? Nah. And they serious about it. So, it shows you lack of misinformation and they did a really good job. I gotta say, for those, for the propagandists, they did a really good job. But it's not even about a good job. It's really the internet opened up the door for anybody to put anything out there, and I think people forget about that. The internet is a motherfucking wild, wild west. Is a highway with no rules to a certain extent, and that's why you got all this misinformation and misguidance. I'll leave it there.
Well, yeah, there's no pushback from the Democrats, none. After all these years, this just didn't happen one election cycle. This is years and years worth. What Nicky Jams said on that stage, that just didn't happen overnight. As a matter of fact, I downloaded the audio, so I'm gonna play this, and I think this is the audio of him accepting Trump's endorsement and then turning it down. So let me see.
It's an honor to me to meet you, Mr. President. People that come from where I come from, they don't meet the president, so I'm lucky. I'm gonna say this, but we need you. We need you back, right? We need you to be the president. Necesitamos a Trump. Let's make America great again. La razón por la cual yo apoyé a Donald Trump.
Okay, so he gave his when he pulled it back in Spanish.
A rebuttal, right.
So let me see if this.
Era porque yo pensé que era lo mejor para la economía en los Estados Unidos, donde vivimos muchos latinos, me incluyo, muchos inmigrantes que están sufriendo por la economía, y él siendo negociante pensé que era el mejor movimiento. Nunca en mi vida pensé que un mes después iba a venir un comediante a criticar a mi país y hablar mal de mi país. Y por ende, renuncio a cualquier apoyo a Donald Trump y me echo a los lados a cualquier situación política. Puerto Rico se respeta, Nicky Jam.
Yeah, so whenever he pulled back,
he was under the impression that he was for I understood some of it, that he was that he thought Donald Trump was gonna be better for the economy and this and that, and he finds out later, that's not the case. He didn't expect that to happen. That's for some of the wording that I caught from there.
Right? Yeah, whenever he pulled back his endorsement, he said that he was just going to stay in between. He wasn't going to, choose.
He should have stood his ass out from the beginning, his dumb ass.
Yeah, but this shows a lack of damn courage from this guy. He talked shit about your homeland, called it trash, and all of a sudden you just want to pull back your endorsement and not try to fight back against whatever the hell you just heard. Right. And then it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? What does it take? Does it take somebody to walk up and slap you in the damn face? And I'm just using this guy because he's out front, and he's just a victim of colonization. He's a victim of this racism that persists throughout history, and this light is right, and if you're dark, then there's something. That's all this guy is a victim of. But you got whole fucking societies. You got whole fucking societies up under this mentality. And, at some point in time, these people going to have to wake the fuck up and realize that the people that institutionalized fucking goddamn human trafficking and slavery don't give a fuck about nobody except for their white fucking European DNA. What's up, mama's boy?
Well, yeah, you right, Tyrone. I mean, hell, Donald Trump done already told him, I don't give a fuck about you. All I want is your vote. I mean, hell, I already told him that shit. The one thing I wanted to throw on the table is a lot of the, just me speculating, but I think a lot of the reasons why you get that pause or you don't get the clap back when they discovered, the rat that Donald Trump is, that you expect, they don't clap back because of the religious quality to it.
Well,
and let me add, if they thought Donald Trump was chosen by God, they're not going to retaliate.
Oh yeah. See, and Mama's boy hit on a key part, because the Hispanic, the Puerto Ricans, they highly religious. I cannot take that away from them. And the right has tried to has taken charge of that narrative about Christianity and all this kind of stuff, right? And then they use their fire because they go anti-homosexual, And then if you go back and look at Noah's kids, y'all can say whatever the hell y'all want to say about your Bible, but your Bible demonizes black people. So it just does. And so the religious aspect weighs heavily in there, as they calling us demons, as they're saying we want to murder babies, as they saying, we support homosexuality, which is abomination in the Bible. And all of these immoral things that they tag the left with, because they tagging the left with that stuff so often, it is sinking in. And then now, whenever you got a group of people like Nicky Jams or whoever looking at the Democrats, they be like, no, you going against my religion. So they let the right take charge of their religion. And listen, let's not get it screwed up, because on the left you got some very religious people, and I'm not talking about them, but they don't know how to take charge of that damn religion, because they doing the right thing. You're not supposed to take that religion and use it like the right is using their religion. You're not supposed to weaponize Jesus and put your name all in Bibles and deface the Bible and put the Constitution in it and all that kind of bullshit. But they just taking charge of this religious narrative, and this is partly why they got a lot of people in different demographics just supporting them. But I don't get the Puerto Ricans. I don't understand it. You got some Puerto Ricans out there, like I said, that is woke and do know what racism is. But at the same time, you got a lot of them people that all of a sudden you say, oh, now, these big old Latino stars is coming out supporting Kamala Harris. That should not be news. That really should not be news, because they didn't like your ass to begin with. But what's up, Miss Elisa?
Hey guys, how are you doing? Cairo, can you hear me?
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Hey, sis.
Yeah, I'm sitting here listening to you guys. Yeah, I too got some Puerto Ricans in my family, so I'm not gonna say but too much. I don't know about them because I know how the way the ones are in my family. The, I know everyone is saying that they're gonna take out the trash come Tuesday. I don't trust that no further than I can sit on it, but I'm only going by the ones that's in my family, and they're Puerto Rican family, and I know how they are. But the thing is that it took me a while to really get an understanding, because like y'all was talking about down there in South Florida, you say the Cubans, then you have the Puerto Ricans talk about the Cubans. The Cubans are a lost cause when it comes to that, because anything that they look at as far as Democrat, they think in Castro. They think Castro. And, yeah. and when I saw a video, somebody was breaking that down, trying to explain, because people was like, I don't get the Cubans down there. They said anything liberal, anything like they Democrat, they hear, see, think, smell Castro. And I get it, because their grandparents, their great grandparents, and he ran their asses out of there. He took all their stuff and allowed them to take one suitcase. So and that's how he did them. He ran them all out, kept all the ones that had money and that, kept all their stuff, allowed them to take just take a suitcase. What I've heard, like Gloria Estefan, she talks about her grandparents, their asses was run out from over there. Then I've heard like he's passed out, like Lucille Ball's husband, Ricky Ricardo.
Desi Arnaz.
Over there, Desi Arnaz. And Castro ran their ass out of there and just allowed them to take a suitcase. And where a lot of this talk that Donald Trump gets about, like he's talking about the Congo and this place and Venezuela, this place, that they opened up their prisons and insane asylums. But if you go back in history and you check, Castro did that. Now, every time I think about it, that's when Carter was president. Every time I think about that, I'm sorry, but I get that is just, I get the biggest kiki out of that. Because if I was Castro, I'd have did the same thing. He opened up the prisons and insane asylums, and every old derelict off the street, they scraped them up when the U.S. was allowing people to come over here. He got rid of them. That was less people that they had to take care of. Now, when you think about it, being in America, other people would get very upset. But to me, that is the biggest key, because I'd have did the same thing if I was them. It's my country. I'd have said, well, these people over here is dead weight. Does it get them out of here? Send them over there. And Castro did that. That's where that talking, when Trump says they opened up the prisons and the insane asylum, yeah, Castro did that. But all
right, in 82. In 82.
Oh, I mean, but all these other places, that's not what's happening. Fidel Castro did that to the United States. And I'm sorry, but it's funny to me. Because I would have done the same thing. F y'all. Y'all think y'all so much? Letting these people come on over there? Here, y'all clean out. There's less people we have to take care of. Clean out the prisons. I'm serious. That insane asylum. And whoever laid up on the street like a derelict, scrape them up, put them on them boats. And Fidel Castro did that. And so the Cubans, you're not going to be able to talk much of anything into that group. The Puerto Ricans, I don't trust them no further than, I'm not going to, no further than I can throw a ball on them. I do not, I don't trust them, their way of thinking. And the Dominicans, woo-wee. But they all different. You would have thought them being, they all speaking the same language, Latino. They didn't care when Trump was running down the South American immigrants and people, Mexico and from over on that end, Salvadorians and stuff. They don't give two cents about them people. They say it's not us, so it doesn't matter to them. And we as black people were sitting here going, but that don't make no sense. If somebody was talking about our people like that, there were people talking about not a monolith. That is the Spanish people, Spanish-speaking people. They definitely are not. They have different cultures, different way of thinking. So when I'm like, when I'm seeing all of this, that the Puerto Ricans is going to take out the trash on Tuesday, I hope. I don't trust it, but I hope. They should, but I don't put no stock in that, not when it comes to them. And I'm going to have to be honest, the Haitians either. So I'm just going to shut up, but I don't, them either.
Yeah, I mean that hate for the left is really deeply ingrained in people, and I don't know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. It's always that black people been demonized. Black people been demonized, and that message been allowed to go untouched in this country.
It's been allowed to go unchecked.
Yeah.
The Democrats, the left allowed it to go unchecked. And like as far as the Spanish-speaking people, they just want to be as close next to white adjacent. That's their main thing.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. And the Haitians, a lot of them look down on, not all of them, but some of them, because I was put in a Haitian group by someone that I know who is Haitian. I have come out and said that I'm not Haitian, and that I was put in this group. You know who put me in the group? Do you remember those guys that they used to do the debates over here? You remember them, Tyrone?
Yeah.
One of them, I think, was Haitian or whatever, and I got put in a Haitian. You know how people, what if friends with you on Facebook, they throw you up in the group,
Mm-hmm.
and I have let it be known in there. I don't really communicate. I just read the things that they're talking about because it's a private group. But I wanted to ask a question, so I said, well, I have to be honest and say I'm not Haitian. I was put in this group by someone who is. I'm a regular old Black American, and because the question, they were in there fighting, and some was telling the other ones that y'all need to stop doing this, that, and it would do y'all better if you would this or this and that you wouldn't get that hate on, and you would. And I asked the question. I said I'll probably get put out of here, which is fine with me. I didn't care because I'm not Haitian, and listening to some of what the people had to say. They would say, well, Black Americans, we see y'all all the time talk about coons. What make you think that we don't have some? And I was like, there you go, bingo. They explained it.
Well,
So
I mean, there's a sickness, and like I said, I understand how African Americans are the way we are, how our Pookies
yeah,
and Ray Rays and Kanishas, and even with the African American name, because I am an African American, I have to think hard about why we're in this condition, and I understand it. But when other people
I do too.
see that those same people are getting demonized, they take up that same talking point, and then they paint that the bad black Americans. They just take a broad brush and say, "Well, all of y'all like that." Well, no, we're not all
Yeah,
like that, you know.
yeah,
And if you try to have some type of understanding and compassion of history, you will understand why some of our community act the way they do. But you
yeah.
know, you're not even looking toward the positive ones, or the one that really don't even go down there. It's either you're either a thug, or you're ghetto, or you're ratchet, or you whatever. You know, they try to label everybody like that, and everybody is not like that. So that's what the Haitians and the Puerto Ricans and anybody else that's looking that's outside of our community. That's how they look at us, because that's the way our entire demographic has been painted in this community. All you have to do is
Yeah, it is.
listen to Mr. Solutions whenever he call in here. Listen how he just put everybody in one box. That's the way they
They
think.
just put everybody down, and it's not like we don't get fiery mad and angry at our own. We too.
Hmm.
Lord knows I do. But I understand why we're like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop me from getting angry.
Yeah, and
But
it's no excuse. We ain't giving them people a pass. They should do better. But you know,
yeah,
you shouldn't characterize the whole community like that, because that's just not the way everybody is.
but I don't stay upset with that type of behavior. I get upset, but I would never lift the ladder up. You see what I'm saying? I'm
Hmm.
gonna leave that ladder down there for any and everybody who want to 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 to, to at least get educated on some simple things, you know. And so yeah, we get very because I mean you ought to hear my mouth when I'm not here on the phone. When I see something real stupid that we do, our people do, but I don't demonize them. I would never publicly
Well,
demonize.
that they
Uh,
should be called out. I mean, I don't know how else to put that, but we shouldn't. I
I
don't know.
said
There should be some type of
I don't mind, but
understanding
I don't
about
mind.
what's going on. You know,
No,
because if you
I
want to
don't
have
Well,
mind
the
hey,
other people.
if you want to
Tyrone,
let me
I
get
could
this
tell
out.
you.
If you
Oh,
want to have the real conversation about the solutions, they don't want to have that conversation, because in order to address the problem that we're talking about in our community, it's an economic problem. It always has
Right.
been an
It
economic
always
problem.
be up.
If you uplift everybody, you won't have this type of, I hate to use this word, this
And they don't want that.
dysfunction in certain groups. You just wouldn't have it, because people be working and people be
Yeah,
trying to,
but
yeah.
yeah,
They
Tyrone.
don't
Well,
want that
the problem,
equality though.
well,
but the
people
problem,
like Mr.
the reason,
Solutions benefits off our inequality and off our struggle.
yeah,
They
they do.
benefit off of it.
But let me tell you why I don't do the calling out publicly because I don't want trolls. But those who don't care, call them out. I'm with you. But it's because of because of trolls, and people can be dangerous out there. So that's the reason why I would do it.
Well,
I
yeah,
get it.
yeah. See, and
I
and
think
that's where you get this whole talking point, and I hate to bring this up, against black women and being single mothers, right? But when you look at that whole picture of that behavior, she wouldn't be a single mother if it weren't for that sorry ass fucking nigga. And then you wouldn't be talking about all of this dysfunction amongst black women if you just look at that man just walking around dropping seeds every goddamn where, and not
I'm
getting
telling you.
and not getting called out. You know, it's just it's always a one-sided
It's
story.
a
Oh, to blame the woman. No, it's not. It's a community problem.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
well, it's easy to blame the woman and blame feminism. One thing that I would love, one thing that I hope to see before I die is our community is for black men. Now, this is all I'm going to say on that because people get upset when you bring this up. I want more black men to understand feminism is not your enemy. Feminism
Right.
it's the greatest patriarchy. And white patriarchy is white supremacy. And feminism is its biggest threat. And when you all run down talking about feminist, she's a feminist, that's the only thing that's really kicking their ass currently.
That's right.
Feminism. That's really the only thing kicking their ass is feminism. And I would like for the men in our community to realize that feminism.
Don't be threatened.
Don't be threatened by feminism. Y'all claim y'all want the patriarchy, white patriarchy taken down. Let feminism do its thing.
All right.
I would just love for more, and women too, not just the men. A lot of black women are against it.
Yeah.
You all don't. That's why white men are so crazy right now. That's why Trump is flourishing, because white men feel away. They feel threatened. And what do they feel threatened by? Not you, black man. Women.
Black woman.
They feel threatened by that. They feel threatened by women, period. Let feminism do its thing. Let it do its thing. Don't fight against it. Why are you against that? Don't be against that. That is the one thing I would like. It took me a long time, because I used to say that I wasn't a feminist. I support it big time.
Well, they're against feminism because that represents women empowerment, right? And then you got a lot of these dudes out there that just haven't been chosen, if you will, that can't get in a good relationship, and they blame this whole structure on why they're unhappy instead of looking inward at themselves and trying to correct whatever they're doing wrong. They blaming the white man, they blaming food stamps, they blaming feminism.
That's white.
Yeah.
White supremacy has infiltrated our community.
Yeah, I
you got
agree
the
with
black man and talking about he's against feminists. You playing his game because
I think that against feminism thing is the fact that some men want to control their women, and they see women, doing shit, CEOs, making their own paper, can make their own way, and they want to stop that. Even if because if they get a woman with those abilities, they don't want her using those abilities to get the fuck away from them. They want them trapped. Yeah, well, I mean, you heard JD Vance, no fault divorcing. They want to get rid of this. They want to make their woman back to being subservient. You've been too powerful too long, and that rings. That is a ringing endorsement for some black men that want to do the same shit.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
They want to, and you know what? Women just celebrated a couple of days ago the 50th. Just the 50th. Think of this: the 50th anniversary when the laws were set that women could get their own mortgage in their own name. That is deplorable. That we have just celebrated the 50th anniversary of that.
Oh yeah, it was something about women couldn't open their own bank account without their husband.
Can't get your bank account. Couldn't get a loan. Couldn't get a car loan. This is a couple of days ago was the 50th anniversary when the things was put in place that a woman could get a mortgage by herself.
And to be honest with you, that's why I say white women are racist as shit, because every time these exit polls come out and you look at the election, they don't give a shit that they vote against their interests every time. Now this election, I want to see, because it's up front. They're saying it. They're saying that they want to take rights away from women. They're saying that they want you to be subservient. I want to see what the hell white women do this damn time when it's in their fucking face.
It's in their face. So, I mean, but that's what it is. And then, plus the numbers, everybody's numbers, but they don't get not caring about our community, but their birth numbers are down. Everybody's numbers are down. I think except for the Latino, and theirs is a little down than what they normally do, but everybody's numbers are down, ours included. People are having babies, but and that's just what it's going to be. You can take everything back to the Make America Great, back to Jim Crow and the way it used to be, But women still not going to be having them babies because women will find a way. So what's the
Yeah,
point?
I mean, this country has problems, and as I was growing up, coming into my adulthood, as bad as this country was, I noticed progression in society. This is the only time
Yeah.
since Trump been in this office that I seen things getting rolled back. As I seen racism on full more display than it ever been before. I don't understand why the hell somebody would yearn to turn the fucking hands of time backwards in this damn country.
Turn the
I don't.
clock backwards.
Well,
And
hey,
that's the,
and also do something never done in the history of America, which is burn books.
Yeah, that's
they
the whole.
burn
Who's
books.
this unknown caller?
Miss Lady, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Miss Lady?
And it's like,
Okay, hi everybody.
Hey,
All
Hey,
right,
Mrs. Lady.
you
I
go ahead,
said
Miss
burn
Lady.
books, but I meant ban books. My bad.
burn books. Yeah, burn books.
Oh yeah, but banning is the first step. Then they'll get around to burning.
Yeah, they will. You're right. You're right. You're right about that. And people just not thinking. Because I remember the last time we were on here talking about the biggest mistake that America made. I said, when I was talking about Roe, and I remember I spoke about everything. I didn't mention abortion. I was talking about the kicking Roe back to the states. That's going to affect everybody, men too. And I was giving examples, and you know what? Some of the MAGA heads who listened, all they heard was abortion, 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 abortion. When I purposely did not mention abortion. Some of these states, Texas, and some of these red states that they just about got a complete ban, they're turning their states into medical deserts. Doctors are leaving. And it's not just OBGYNs, it's people who are regular general practitioners because they're scared to deal with pregnant women. And I forget which state it was. It was 2 states where they have the complete ban. And they said something like 30% of the medical professionals has already left that state. You all don't realize that you're creating a medical desert in your state. That affects everybody. And that has something to do with abortion. Because if I don't care what type of doctor I was, and wouldn't care what I'm practicing, I would not live in a red state. Because if a pregnant woman come in bleeding and I don't know what to do, and if I even dare to treat her, I'm going to prison. That's what you're creating, medical deserts in your state. And they say, and a lot of the neonatal wards and stuff in that state, about 30% of them have closed because they don't have anybody to work them. That is one of the main things that kicking Roe back to the states cause. And that affects everybody, the old, the young, the children. When you don't have doctors, and you already didn't have what you needed in those, in a lot of the rural areas in the first place. And the 1 or 2 that you had, or the 1 or 2 that would have come to set up a practice, they're like the hell with it, and they all pile up back over in the blue state. You're creating medical deserts. That's what you're doing. People, they don't think about that, and they don't care. Why? Because Trump gave them the permission to be racist. And you're not even thinking about anything else but that. Crazy. It's sad.
Yeah. Go ahead, Miss Lady. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. I just thought about what she said. That plus private equity is going to decimate a whole lot of medical practices and hospitals, and especially in areas of the country where, it's less population and there might be one hospital or just a few medical practices encompass, an area. So this just reeks of fear. Just, all of this anti-women policies they want to put into place, and they even want to, I think, prevent certain birth control, like you said, get rid of low fault divorce, no abortions, no this, no IVF, no this, no that. It's like everything is not for you. None of this is for you, women. So it just reeks of a lot of fear. So if they're that fearful, then who is the strongest of the two genders? Because women aren't thinking along those lines, trying to control men, their bodies, and in that way, and their health issues. So it just says to me that men know that women are the stronger. I'm sorry, men, of the two. And so another thing I was thinking about, it just kind of, when you were saying not too long ago women couldn't have mortgages. If they were married, they couldn't independently go get a mortgage for real property. They also couldn't even, after having their 10th kid, unless their husband consented, they couldn't get their tubes tied.
Wow.
They could. He had to agree. He had to agree to that.
Right, and she could have had, just her, iron stores are depleted. She's completely, stressed and fatigued from carrying the load of being the mother, the housewife, the kids, the blah, blah. And if the husband didn't consent, then she couldn't get her tubes. It makes no sense. Other than to me to say they just want total control, and anybody that wants that much control over other people is a very fearful person, an insecure person underneath. And that's just what it reeks of, a lot of insecurity. All of this racial, white supremacy, crazy stuff that's going on. You look at those people underneath, they're insecure people. And the same thing with these black men that, they were just railing. I listened to Karen Hunt. No, it was Yvette Carnell yesterday, but I had to turn it off because it was black men after black men calling in. I was going to vote for Trump. And they gave the most idiotic reasons whatsoever.
I heard that. I listened to it. I was listening to
what was some of the reasons?
Stuff we talk about.
Oh, she's not smart, really smart. She don't come across that intelligent. She's not strong. Trump exudes strength. So basically, he's saying that this bullying is what they perceive as being strong.
Yeah,
and
I kind of figured that.
But then I'm like, is she supposed to be a wrestler in the WWF? I mean, what do you expect her to do? She's a woman. She's not going to come out and be a big bully like
well, black men been programmed that women are not supposed to lead, and that's why I was saying that the other week. But at the same time, that shows you how primal their mindset is, because you got to evolve past that crap. And you just got to take a snapshot picture of what we're faced with today. When you look at those two candidates, that woman, Kamala Harris, is more qualified, more ready to lead, more ready to get on the world stage and talk to our international partners. Donald Trump is a fucking clown. I mean, when you got leaders, a choice like that, the choice is obvious. I mean, Kamala Harris is the damn pick. These damn black men that call into that show, they fucking idiots sound like.
I think they insecure and they angry, like people were saying. They mad because they wasn't picked. They can't get a woman like Kamala. They don't have the resources. They're jealous.
Well, there you go.
They're jealous.
I wanted to throw another thing that I thought might contribute, and we haven't brought it up, and I know why you haven't, because you've been steering away from it. But Eve was always labeled in Christianity as the reason why we were in sin.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that, because most of black men are still Christian-based men. So just inherently, subconsciously, the woman is inferior. She the one got us in this shit. So quite naturally, she can't lead a country.
But people got to move beyond that stuff, man. That mindset is antiquated, it's old, It's not. It don't reflect the time that we living in now. It's just old stuff. And I'm not knocking on nobody. Really believe what you want to believe, but you got to separate that from the politics of your government, because we're faced with some important times right now. Who's this unknown caller?
Yeah, hey Tyrone, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Joe?
Yeah, something to think about. This woman put together a whole campaign in 3 months. Trump has been on the re-election bid for 4 years.
10 years.
Remember, right after he lost the election? No, right after he lost the election, he started on the campaign trail. Remember that? Right after. And so, so literally, this man has been at this for 4 years now. And here, this woman put together a whole campaign in 3 months, and is basically kicking his ass. So that says a lot too. Where you have a challenger that came out of nowhere, that had no campaign, no ground, team, none of that stuff, and basically threw it all together in 3 months. Amazing. Freaking amazing, if you ask me.
Yeah, and I know that there's this group of people, this group of black men that Miss Lady and Elisa was listening to on that show, and that's who I be speaking to, because they're confused. I don't know what the hell wrong with them. I don't get it. They just as bad as the damn confused ass Puerto Ricans to me. They just
Well,
go ahead.
look. A lot of these men have been under the influence of external propaganda for a lot of years. All right. So again, when Trump announced re-election 4 years ago, Russia and other actors joined in on propaganda. See, the one thing that we are not good at is recognizing propaganda. We're not good at that. Why? Because we haven't really been on the world stage to the degree that we are now. Black people have only come into prominence as a voting bloc, an important voting bloc, in fairly recent years. And so we've been targeted by external forces that have an agenda, because they realize that the black vote, they realize more than white folks that the black vote is necessary for winning. So we've been the target of a lot of propaganda. I mean, the last election, they found so many Russian fake websites that supposedly pro-black and issuing, bogus messages, and it's just crazy, the amount of actors that are being paid under the table, to push this stuff and all of that. I mean, this is kind of new for our community, and we got to learn to be very smart about it. I was just telling your boy ABC, Candace Owens got banned from going to Australia. They're like, we don't want her here. We don't want her propaganda here. But she's kind of an indicator and the poster child for what happens when you take a black face and you fill it full of white propaganda. Automatically they get a platform. For some strange reason, I don't know why, but there's always a willing platform for somebody that's willing to sell out the culture. And ABC, I kind of mentioned this to him, like, when you're willing to sell out the culture, miraculously you get a platform. Tyrone. So
Well,
I'm just saying,
like I said, ABC is Hawk Tuah MAGA. That's who he is. It doesn't matter what MAGA do. He's gonna Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing.
Yeah, but it just seems like that's the easy way for clout chasing, is to sell out your people. Now, so I think we're getting smarter, but it's going to be a little time before the community as a whole gets hip to the fact that if you push the right buttons, you're going to dance to the tune, and there's always going to be those guys who are going to dance. And I say guys particularly because a lot of men are really deluded for some strange reason. To shift the focus, I was thinking about like the Green Party. Let me give you an example of why the Green Party to me is full of shit. Because they only come around for presidential campaigns.
That's what I said last week. I said they were full of shit.
They don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they don't campaign for local offices. They don't campaign on regional elections. They only put up a presidential candidate by a person who has no experience, and they basically try and peel off the votes. And to me, if you're serious as a party, you would also go for local elections too, but you never really see them in local elections. Cornel
And
West has never run for a local election.
They collect their damn
Yeah,
campaign donations.
yeah. Well, I can't speak to that, but I'm just saying, a guy like Cornel West, you would think, if you're really serious about running for office, you would get a local office first, so you can learn how to govern. Being smart does not necessarily translate to knowing how to govern. Knowing how to govern is more about, deal making, real deal making, rather than just raw intelligence. Raw intelligence can definitely help you, without a doubt. Look at AOC. But you still have to understand how to make a deal with somebody so that everybody walks away from the table with something. But neither here nor there. Like I said, I think as a whole, we as a people need to just get smarter all around, regardless of who you're voting for. Donald Trump is an idiot, without a doubt. He's an idiot. But he understands the psyche of idiot people. Being an idiot, I guess, helps a lot. Understanding the psyche. What buttons to press. What things to flash. What imagery to put up in order to get those people that think like you to agree and to syncopate with you. So here and there. I'm kind of rambling. I don't want to do that. I'll sit back and listen, y'all.
No, you're right. Donald Trump, I mean, as stupid as he is, and as big of an idiot I think he is, him and whoever he got around him has an agenda, and they know how to implement it and push it. Hell, he took over a whole fucking political party in the United States of America and conducted a fucking insurrection. Got the Supreme Court justice to give him immunity. The Supreme Court to give him immunity. So, I mean, he's a dangerous guy with that type of power, and I can't, he's a moron to me. But clearly, he's playing the right cards to get what he wants in this damn country. So you got to watch out for him.
He has the right people helping him, because he didn't come up with all it. We all know that. Not on his own. He's just interested in power. And you have other people who are doing the manipulating and things like that they know what they want, like the Project 2020 by people, them and different other people that's working with him. Them cold-blooded white supremacists, and then plus billionaires too, because they actually want to be able to control everything and keep the money coming up top, and then all of us on the bottom, we just do the working. Because it's like they were talking about what he wants, actually what Elon Musk wants.
Right.
If Trump wins the election, and all this stuff that he's going to put Elon Musk in charge with, basically the bank, basically the till, the United States till. So turn all that over to him to do as he please. Why aren't people upset
He's
about
gonna
that?
slash. He's gonna slash those cars. There goes your Medicare for your parents, your grandparents. There goes your Social Security slash.
Well, y'all heard that he got
federally
y'all heard he got
funded,
Kennedy working on the healthcare stuff, right?
The ones they want, and he's gonna get those billions. Continue to get billions in government contracts.
Y'all heard he got Kennedy. Y'all heard he got Kennedy working on the healthcare stuff, right?
Yeah. He's gonna turn that all over to him and the USDA, anything to do with that. Okay, say hello to polio. Say hello to all that stuff that's eradicated, because he's gonna give y'all say, hey, polio, come on back, and all that stuff that we thought we eradicated, and they're gonna be serving all the children raw milk in school, which is gonna kill half of them in a certain length of time. Y'all get ready. And I don't understand why people look at who they talk about putting in charge. You don't want this. You don't want that crazy man in charge of all of our health care and all of. Well, we ain't gonna have all different certain things are gonna be gone. But
like you said, the FDA, the drugs, they gonna push them through without adequate research and steps required. And people are gonna be taking them, having all kind of bad side effects.
Well, yeah, I guess I guess ABC can take all the horse pills he want to with RFK in charge, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're about to tear it up. They're about to tear up everything because some woman asked him a question, what would you do? They were talking about because in schools they have certain programs that's for, good nutrition and different things like that for the students in school. What would you do to add to that? He said, I would get rid of all processed foods. And what people don't understand, not all processed foods are bad. And they're talking about one thing that people do consider is processed pasteurized milk. That's gone. And I know we have these people talking about raw milk. That shit will kill you. But anyway, Lord have mercy. If Trump was to get back in, boy, oh boy, are we in for it.
And when your mama and grandmama's Social Security is slashed from $1,500 a month to $1,000 a month, and she calls you for help, for financial help, don't blame her for having too many kids, okay? And being a single mama. Just write that difference. Just give her a check or some money for that difference, because that's who you wanted.
Well, you know what's interesting to me is
so many jobs. People ain't gonna have no money to give grandma of all the cutting and stuff that they planning to do.
what's interesting to me is, I would think Sarge would be against this whole thing because you know how he feels about electric cars. See, Elon Musk needs a president in his pocket because he needs to have regulations put in his favor for SpaceX and for Tesla. A president in his pocket would be the only safeguard he has against the regular automobile industry. If they put regulations in place to limit that, to limit, fossil fuels or to change the way we subsidize electric cars, then he would benefit from it. So I can see, I understand what his role is, without a doubt. Also, too, if he has a president in his pocket, he can direct money that would probably go to NASA into his space company. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the problem. And then what I
in addition to tax cuts.
Listen, Elon Musk is more aggressive than that, right? So if he got the government in his pocket right now, if he's able to buy the American government, if he's in a cabinet position, Elon Musk is thinking about more and more power. So now instead of buying the American government only, now he will be able to get the revenue and subsidies to buy other governments on the. Elon Musk is not no damn slouch when it comes to trying to make money, because that's how he got Tesla to begin with, by overtaking people and just making sure that he was the richest man in the world. And now if he become the richest man in the world and buy the American government, other governments is on the chopping block. Yeah, we're going to get fucked in the process. So, I mean,
everybody's going to get messed up. And one thing that I put this out on the airway, like Trump the people are so stupid. When he's talking about, no taxes on tips, then he turned around and said that Kamala stole his idea, no taxes on tips. But the regular working people don't get it, because this is how stupid they are. She agrees with no taxes on tips. She's talking about people who get tips, the Uber drivers, the waiters and bartenders and things like that. No taxes on their tips. Trump, no taxes on tips. Is talking about the CEOs, because a lot of their money comes that they get from the companies. They do it in a form. It's not a tip, but it's kind of a tip. No taxing of that. That's what his no taxes on tip is. Not hers. And the people got it so mixed up that he not talking about no taxes on your bartender, you over here. Kamala is. But that's not what his is about. And the people is too stupid to go and look and research this thing. They just, whatever he say is the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. But the last polling that I heard it seems to me now that the national media is starting to tell the truth about these poll dumpings and why it feels real close, and when they broke down the different groups that's going to give Kamala this thing, it's looking like the people, the educated, the smart, the this and that, she's winning them over big time. Women, more women have come are voting now. More women are registered and has already done voted already. So we're looking good now that the national media is telling the truth about this polling. But it looks like the smart and the educated is going to have to say the dummies and the poor all over again. That's what it looked like it's coming down to. Because they said Trump's biggest screw, because he needed to tap into other groups. His number one group that he's still leading on is white men with a high school degree. And I'm not running down high school degrees, but then that's his number one, that's his base core. White men with a high school degree. And I'm not running that down. There's nothing wrong with just having a high school degree.
Well, he need to win white women too. White women always bring them over the damn top.
He got to win. He got to. He really, and it doesn't look like he's failing. But the part of white women that Kamala got a stronghold on is white women from 18 to 30 something, college educated.
Yeah.
She got a stronghold on them. She got them. That's a done deal. Black women, she got us. She has a good portion of the black men, and white men of a certain age to this age with college degree, she got a stronghold on them. And women overall, she seems to have a stronghold. So I think she's gonna pull this off. I'm positive. Will it be a landslide? I don't feel self-assured to say that just yet. But she's gonna pull it off. If you look at the recent polling and the groups that it says that she has from the exit polling and things like that.
I can't understand why. I can't even understand why he's getting this much support. I don't understand it. I just, well, you know, it made me realize that Americans are more damn crazy, racist, ignorant. They just ignorant. And when I was telling y'all years ago that they was dumbing us down when they started changing the TV program to Duck Dynasty and shit like that, it actually worked because these people are freaking ignorant. I didn't know they so ignorant.
It's Tyrone, ignorant. Yeah. You don't have to have a college degree.
And they have very short memories, Tyrone. I mean, going back, if you go back to Donald Trump's original campaign promises, remember he promised to bring back coal? Never happened.
All his promises. All his promises fell through.
Yeah, but it just goes to show you, that middle America, the non-college educated folks, you could hoodwink the shit out of them, and it's okay. I mean, if you look at some of the interviews of these people in the Trump line, a lot of them don't know why he has been convicted of 34 counts, of sexual assault. No, they don't follow that stuff. They don't hear it. They don't know about it. I mean, one of the common things that they say, I didn't know about that. I didn't hear that. So they're basically being fed a bubble, man. And that bubble is just Sean Hannity and all the rest of them praising Trump. They don't hear the real deal. They don't see it, and they don't want to. They don't want to. And so that's the crazy part,
Well, like I said, like Fox News and the right wing, they actually interact with their people. They have these town halls. They're on the radio with them every day. People are literally calling in, touching base with a superstar like Sean Hannity. The Democrats or the left, we don't have that type of interaction with the people that support the Democrats. And
I disagree there. Okay. Our interactions don't take place in the same venues. I listen to the Midas Touch Network. It has 3 million plus of followers on YouTube.
No. Listen, that is new media, and it's as old as the last Trump administrations. But the type of interaction that I'm talking about with Fox, that goes
Politicians.
decades. I mean, shoot, those people been in touch with Greta Van Susteren and Russ Limbaugh and Bill O'Reilly and all, they've been talking to them, and they actually got businesses set up with the fucking Fox News where they advertise on their channels and shit, and they do little events in their communities. They're really in touch with that damn base of people. Who's this unknown caller?
Oh, this is Miss Lady. I had to hang up. I had a call back in. But I want to say something about Joe saying that those people don't know about his sexual assault charge. Yes, they do. Some of them do, and they don't care. Because I remember the first time he was running, I went to get a key made at a small little key place, and there was an older white man in there, kind of burly and older. And I mentioned something about Trump, and he says, "Oh, they keep talking about he assaulted some woman, he touched some woman." He said, "Who cares? Men touch women all the time."
Yes, some of them.
They don't care. They don't care what he's done. It's what he represents, which is white supremacy, and that's what they want. The world is changing, and they don't want it to change. And so what he represents, them having the right to exert their white privilege, if they so choose.
A lot of them don't know, but a lot of them don't know. A lot of them don't know that those shows that they watch during the daytime, Fox and Friends, they don't know that that's not news. That's an entertainment show. They don't know.
Yeah,
that.
but a lot of
they
them do know, because I've talked to a lot of them, and they do, and they don't care. I ask people questions.
A lot do, but they don't. Because I was watching these people were going around asking the people in the Trump line, and some of them were saying that people in New York is having abortions and getting rid of their babies after they give birth.
Wow.
And they were telling
they're very.
Well, yeah, you got a mixed bag with that. Like the people that standing in the lines and the people that are not involved in politics, those people like low economic, they probably don't know. But when you looking at the people that's in the politics, like the people that are serving in Washington, these people know better.
Oh no, they know.
And trust me, the people in California, they know.
Yeah,
they know.
You could break them down in categories, though. I look at his supporters in quarters, right? Like 4 quarters, if you want to just break. I mean, it probably break down more, but you have those that are fans because he's an entertainer. They purely don't care about his politics, don't care about nothing. They're just fans, like concert fanatics of a rock star or something like that. Then you got those that are voting for him purely for racism, and they know. Then you got people that are ignorant that don't know because they're not getting information. They're not looking at the news networks that provide that information.
They're not going anywhere else.
Further, right. So they are in this box.
Yeah, so if Fox is telling you that people in New York are getting, they have a choice to get rid of their baby after they give birth. Now,
and they don't do their own. Think about that. Look, that's just common sense. They have to think about it. Say, wait a minute, how can you abort a baby after 9 months unless you're giving them away for adoption?
They're like, no. And then he said, no, that's murder. And they was like, well, I heard it and I read it. And he was like, and they were asking him, well, where did you read that? I saw it on Facebook, some group that they that's helping to continue to push that stuff. And it was like, well, Google, if that, you all need to get out of there and Google. And then you see what I'm telling you, that nobody's doing that. Nobody's having an abortion after the baby is born. That is murder.
That's murder. Listen, let me ask you a question. Okay, so Japan, they said, has not had a birth in 3 months in Japan. I don't know if it's true or not.
What?
Do you see this coming to the United States? I mean, if they keep pushing women back, keep trying to push women back, what would be the benefit of getting married,
There is.
And what would be the
There is
benefit of
none.
having children?
There would be none. There is none. There is none. There is none. Because I'm not trying. I'm not. I mean, that's something I'm planning to do. I'm to the point. I'm past that. But you have a lot of young women. They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna get married, and they're not gonna have babies. And then you're gonna have more angry men because they're not gonna be giving them that because they don't have because they're trying to cut back on the birth control. That's what we're gonna have. They're just not gonna do it. These women and stuff that's out here going to school and doing their thing, they're not gonna have any babies. They're not doing that. And I have a lot of young women in my family that's in college that's doing their thing. They're not doing that. They don't want no husband and they don't want no damn baby. And I champion that. When the rest of the family say, leave them alone. No, leave them alone. Let them live their life and do their thing. Because there's not enough men out here on the act right. Do not get married. Do not legal yourself up to nobody. Y'all go ahead, get your education, get with your friends. Y'all go on vacation, go to the Essence Fest. And I just all the
ABC is throwing the phone up and is throwing the phone on the wall right now.
You know what? But I don't care. And I tell them, go get that credit card and run it up, get you the go and get them credit cards, run them up, get you the fresh
and
skin.
try and get you some place to live in.
You and your girlfriends, y'all go live the life. Date, have some fun. Do not get serious with anybody. Live your life. You can straighten out that credit card bill as you work it. You get that going. You young. You know y'all get it together. But don't tie yourself legally to anybody. Especially
that's good advice.
Right now.
That's good advice.
Right now. Meet some people, have fun. Do not get pregnant. Do not tie yourself legally to anybody. You got plenty of time down the road to think about that. That's just my advice. And a lot of people, they hate to hear me when I talk like that, but that's
great advice. That's great advice.
I tell them that. That's what you need to do. And then I sit and I have them laugh and I start saying, you know, my grandma, like my mother's mother and all that. I said, it's reincarnation. I said, y'all know where grandma is at right now. She was reincarnated back into a fly, snatched black woman. She's going to Essence Fest. She's doing this. She's not thinking about no husband. She's not thinking about no babies. She's living her life. And that's what I want for all the young girls. Because they trying to.
And they'll be healthier too, Elisa. They'll be
healthier.
They'll be healthier. They'll live a longer life, a healthier life. And women support each other. You know, so people, you'll die alone. Everybody's going. That's a one person job. Die. Everybody's gonna die alone, right? You're gonna die alone. You're born, by yourself. And so, but it's when you get older and you might need help or assistance, women will be there to support each other. And so unlike men who going to be dying alone in a convalescent hospital, lying and shit and pee, okay?
Eating a TV dinner. Don't worry about them I know this sounds really rough, but this is the rhetoric that I speak away from TRS because my mind is with the young girls living a life. Think about I don't tell nobody don't ever get married. Just don't do it now. Don't have children now.
And do some heavy duty vetting from A to Z. And be very careful. And the first sign of something ain't craziness, you already have your exit plan in place.
You have your money in the bank. It don't look like it's gonna be nothing. You can split. You don't have to stay. You don't have to stay there. Wait, there's a lot of good people out here. Wait, don't be thinking about relationships and falling in love and having babies. Do you?
And if they want to get you pregnant, if they want to be so cavalier not to wear condoms and they want to make a baby, you better get the hell away from them.
Get away from them, because you got plenty of time for that. You do. You got plenty of time to do that. Just don't do it. I tell them, don't do it in your 20s. Don't do that in your 20s.
But
You got
Elisa,
plenty of
what's the
time
end game when these women are going to go on with their lives and they're not going to be getting married and then and because what, and you said there's going to be a lot of angry men. So what does that mean when you have a bunch of angry, frustrated men?
You'll have a lot of angry, frustrated men. You all go get a license and learn how to fire it and get strapped. I'm sorry. This is what I tell the young women in my family.
I think them gay porn sites light up.
I think so too.
People should be able to come together and have relationships, and when they finish their education, both. Because this makes it easier on the boys too. I don't understand.
Yeah.
This is good, better for the boys too, because they not getting strapped down early either.
I would tell the boys the same thing.
The same thing. Get with your friends. Y'all go to the Bulls game. Go on trips. Have a good time. Meet the girls. Date. Have fun. Don't be sick. And this is good for them too. It's not a selfish thing just for the girls. It's good for them too. I tell the boys.
But girls have much more to lose in terms of, because they'll be left with a baby having to raise it alone. So,
yeah,
and it's a very expensive and time consuming. So, and then it stops your path a lot of times, So they have much more to lose.
Everybody gets off course. So this is for the boys and for the girls. Y'all be young, have fun. Don't think about trying to get serious, trying to get married, trying to have babies. Y'all got the rest of your life for that. Don't do that. Not in your 20s. That's just my advice. Not in your 20s. Well, I'm just
wondering if there's going to be more sexual assaults from men who are frustrated and can't get a woman and angry and they feel unsupported and unloved. Will there be more sexual assaults? Will there be more stalking? And then what's the end game for them? Is it going to be jail time, prison time? You see what I'm saying? So going down this whole track of anti-women is actually anti-man.
It is. Anti-women is anti-men. And it doesn't have to be that for either side. It doesn't have to be that. Everybody can live a great life. It doesn't have to be that. You don't have to get down that incel path and end up in prison someplace. It doesn't have to be that. Both sides can live a full life and be happy, and everybody be friends, and everybody do things together. It can be that. Just don't go down that path, and both sides can do well. Because I look at it this way, a lot of, some black guys that I talk to, when they hear me, when I said, this is better for you too, this is better for the young men too. Why do y'all want to get hassled and buried down in something you can't afford? You can't afford a wife. You can't afford these kids. Don't you want to, when you do whatever it is you're going to do, she does whatever it is she's going to do, and if you two decide to come together, y'all got it together, and it's not going to be a struggle for either one of you. And then they go, yeah, you right, but there is no but. That's the path for both men, for both boys and girls, young men, young women. That's the path. There is no but. You get yours together, she get hers together. Y'all have fun. Girls, go to the SFS. Boys, y'all get with your friends and go to whatever it is y'all want to go to and do. And while you doing your thing, if you want to play video games and you want to do that, don't get bogged down. That's my main thing. Nobody get bogged down. Everybody do their thing, and then when you decide this here what you want to do, you got it together, she got it together, and y'all can make a better decision. And you don't have to have struggle. And well, yeah, I hear what you're saying, sister, but no, there is no but. There is no but. That's the way. That is the way. This is how I look at it. I know, but I know a lot of people right now hate me for saying this, but that's the best way for both. And when I talk about for the girls, I mean that's the best way for the boys too. That's the path. And there are no buts. And our people love to go, but But there are no buts. There are none. You want that for your boys. You want that for your girls. So steer them on that path. There is no buts. But you don't understand. But and then the next thing they start is, why are you so bitter? I'm not bitter. I just see things the way I just see a better path for everybody. Not bitter. Did I lose everybody?
Oh, you still here?
We here with you.
Oh. I just want a better path for everybody, girls and the boys. I want a better path for them.
Yeah, people just
And
don't
you would
realize
think that
times have changed, and it's not like our grandmama and them said it was gonna be. Those fairy tales that we read in elementary school about the princess and the king and the castle and the princess getting rescued, all that stuff is just
Cinderella
BS.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let that go. Life would be so much better for everybody if the men stop trying. If the men stop trying to, I want to be divorced. I want to do everything. Don't you know life would be so much better for you if you let that go? Don't you know life would be so much easier for you if you let that go? As women, don't you know if you stop looking for Romeo and Prince Charming, life would be so much better for you if you let that go?
Well, yeah,
And you
because
just let
it's a
things happen?
psychological thing. This society got us thinking that if we ain't in one of those type of relationship, that something is wrong, and that weighs on people mentality, and there ain't nothing wrong, So people really get depressed with that and all that kind of stuff, and they need to, just let that go. That
Let
ain't
that
what it
go.
is, you know.
It's not.
Oh, is that you,
And
Miss Lady? Look like you dropped again.
I used to say that people should be married, and two parent households and stuff, and that's good. But everybody don't want that.
No, and if you want to live like that, then you as an individual, as a person, as a human, and the two of you need to realize that is something that needs to be worked on. It just don't come. It's just not passed out like candy. A good relationship is something that both of you deserve, and if you work for it, you deserve it. Who's this unknown caller?
You'll get it.
Big J here.
What's up, Big J?
Yeah. Okay. What do you want people to let go, or men to let go?
Let go of this old way of thinking about how the princess and the palace and saving the princess and all this kind of stuff. That shit don't exist no more.
Romeo and Juliet, let that go. And I'm saying for men to let go, that you got to be the boss, that you got to carry everything on your back. That's a lot of responsibility. Let that go. You get with a woman, y'all work that thing together, equal.
And saying that, I'm not downing a relationship that two people are in. I take my hat off to two people that's in a good, strong, solid relationship. But it's not as easy. It's not as easy as they made it out to be. People got to work on that. That ain't nothing to just hand it to you.
And Tyrone, especially when one person feels they got to be the boss and they got to take all the load. No, y'all do that thing together, and there'll be less stress on both people, and that's what people need to let go. Let that you being the boss, the head of everything. You don't have to be the head of that or the boss of that. Y'all can do it together. And she better be the finances.
Okay, Lisa. But understand, Lisa. But you got people around here talking about, I need the 666 man. He needs to have 6-pack, 6 figures, and 6 feet and above.
Well, that's a dream too. That's a dream too. They need to let that go.
That's a dream too. And for the men, let go. And she needs to come down off that. And men need to let go. I want her to be subservient and bring me my paycheck. You gotta let that go too. All of that.
You gotta come down to ground level.
You gotta come down to ground. You gotta come down and see what things are. You gotta come down to ground level and start seeing, what things really are. and you have a lot of stress off yourself, and you won't have struggle. It's just that a lot of expectations that people have. Some of it is just it's kind of crazy actually. That's just how I look at it. Kind of crazy. And the young people, this is another thing that a lot of young people get upset with me. Like when young girls is like, well, for our first day, I mean, this little guy, he's a nice little guy. He's working at McDonald's, and I want to go to the Cheesecake Factory, and I want him to do this, and I want him. Well, he ain't got that. Why he doesn't have that? Why don't y'all go? And this is the forbidden word. Some women will call me a pygmy for this. Y'all go to the park and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Y'all go to
you bringing up a good point. That first date, but both of you need to look at yourself and assess what you can and can't do, and don't try to live this fake life of social media and spending a whole bunch of money unless you can afford it. But if you can't, if you're serious about each other, then y'all need to be true to each other.
Y'all need to have a little bit, and also this is a safety thing for me with young girls. You want him to spending all this money, then he might expect something from you. First date shouldn't be all of that anyway. First date should be going to the park. You meet up, y'all have a cup of coffee, go to the coffee house, have great conversation.
Yeah.
That is what a first date should be.
Because what's going to happen is you go spending all this money on the first date and trying to show your bling. Later, 2 years down the road, you can be like, they're gonna be like, well, you know how I was when you met me. Well, I can't afford that.
And I did let that go.
That's why Mr. Solutions goes with a handkerchief and a water.
I'm not saying you should be cheap, but my thing is nobody should be spending no money on anybody when you don't know that person. Get together and don't even be going out to dinner because you're stuck in a restaurant. If you meet up at the coffee shop and you have a cup of coffee, have great conversation, go for a walk, and then once y'all like, okay, I think this is going to be something. And if he want to take you to dinner, let him take you to dinner. But in the beginning, somebody you don't know, you don't let people be spending money and stuff on you that you don't know. They don't know you. Because somebody be expecting stuff that you're not willing to give, and then you sitting there looking stupid when they throw it up in your face. That's just me. I don't know. That's just me. So I just wouldn't have people spending money on me that I don't know. I don't know you. See, I'm not going to allow you to be spending money. I don't know you. That's just me. That's a safety thing, too. It's just a safety thing, too. And when somebody turn on you and get nuts, well, then, you should have thought about that. That's what I tell my nieces. You don't know these people. These young people, so you don't know these people to spending money on you. And then somebody come up, well, I did this and I did that. Then what you going to do? No. Keep it simple. That first date should be simple. That's just how I look at it. Let
me let Big J go, and then I'm going to check this caller right here. Who's this unknown caller?
Yo, what up? It's Anthony, man.
All right, Anthony. You can go after Big J. Yeah, you can go after Big. Yeah, I can hear you. You can go after Big J. Go ahead, Big J.
No, I got nothing to say.
All right, what's up, Anthony?
The Jets are
well,
looking
can I
good.
ask Big J a question? Does that make sense to you since you asked the question, Big J? Does that make sense to you? Keep it simple.
Yeah. As somebody who's grown older, yes, but as somebody who looked back 15, 20 years ago, I would say I probably would not agree with you because of there's not much stock in younger men. So I just leave it there.
But now, do you, as somebody who's older, do you agree with that? Keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, but Big J got a point about the age because there's a lot of immaturity in decision making when you're that young,
Well, I agree. It's a lot of immaturity that goes along with that. That people get in a situation they don't know how to deal with. That's why. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. You don't know one another. Keep it simple.
one. You get long-winded right after you introduce another caller.
Okay, well,
But
no, we were trying to close out a point, so don't come in here picking. We closed out the point, sir. Welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, my boy. What's going on?
I'm
But I
all right,
wanted
my boy.
to touch on. I don't think it's more about hating women, like the lady said earlier. I don't. Kamala's role, her role is directly tied to the Biden administration. So a lot of the criticism that she get is really coming from him, not her. She's pretty much collateral damage at this point. So I don't think people are hating her strictly because she's a woman. I know there are people out there that are like that, but for the most part, it's because of what they've been doing the past 4 years. Like, okay, what are you gonna do at this point? Like, why aren't you doing it now?
Okay, so what did they do the last 4 years that people don't like them?
That's not the point. But my point is the thing that she's trying to introduce now. That's hold on.
Well, not to mention what fucking role does a vice president have in the United States? Name me one vice president that has their name in history as passing something or doing something. Please.
Well, I get his perspective. I get his perspective.
Know
Well,
their
he talking about the
personal
Biden administration.
She can be an advisor to the president. She could be in his ear and actually pitch certain things that, like they're good ideas. Why not pitch it now? Why can't we look at an example right now?
Okay, well, clearly you're not gonna.
Like they're only ideals, man. That's all it is. Ideals.
Well, clearly you're not gonna vote for Harris. So there's no. I think I don't know about Big J's perspective, but I think the majority of the people over here might vote for Democrats. So you're not doing it. So I mean, I don't know where you going with it.
No, the point is okay, when it comes to Harris, right? Part of it is because black women in their sorority groups, the sorority group 2000 was pitching for Kamala Harris or even Karen Bass. You know, Karen Bass, who is the mayor of Los Angeles, she was on that short list. Even Miss Demings out of Florida. So it was the black sorority groups that was lobbying the Democratic Party. Make sure a black woman, a woman of color was picked. But black men, they don't organize like that. Black men don't organize. And that's part of the problem. You know, black men are not organized like that. You don't see no Greek organizations, no fraternities from not Spelman. Spelman's a woman's college. From Morehouse or any of the ACBUs actually affecting public policy. They're not doing that. It's really these sorority groups. It's really women groups doing that. Right. Right, and that's where you see the problem lies at. The jealousy that on that alone, and then when Goldman Sachs and Lehman Brothers was doing that, well, we won't give black women grants alone. Well, everybody complained about it, but y'all got to see who was on the board. There was no black man on the board of Lehman Brothers and Goldman Sachs and I forgot the other one, the Bank of America. Those black dudes, Condoleezza Rice, Susan Rice, Oprah, Gayle King. I forgot the other names. They was all on them boards, but there was no black men on them boards.
George Lucas' wife, she's on a lot of...
Right, George Lucas' wife, yeah. They was on them boards. But there was no black men on them boards.
Hey, Big J.
Black women say, hey, we help get y'all in this White House. This here what we want. And they give them what they want.
And it's the thing about closed mouths don't get fed type thing. And black men was more focused on shame, blame, and explain. They're not even focused on that. They're not focused on that because you have to be in that boardroom to do it.
Big J, the Black Panther Party, is that an example of black men organizing?
I think it means now in this current time.
I'm talking about now. We ain't talking about things. We're talking about now. Talking about now. From 2020, I'm talking from 2016 and 2020 and up till today for the last 8 years.
But there are examples of black men organizing though, so it's doable.
I said from 2016 up till today.
They're just not viral right now. It's happening, man. Like I would shout out Q Buddy, bruh. The niggas organizing got a whole damn school, a black only school in Brooklyn. Like
that's not no level of Lehman Brothers and being part of Goldman Sachs.
I get it, but come on, don't move the goalpost on me.
I'm not moving the goalpost. You see that? Hold on, you see that right there? He accused me of moving the goalpost.
Yeah, black men, period, don't know how to organize.
I said the last 6 years. What part that you don't get?
When they said they said there was 30,000 black women on that, and this is a lot of things that people didn't know. I was on that call too. They have been doing that for years, coming together, raising money for this, putting together PACs and different things, and out here lobbying these people politically. So that wasn't a new thing that they did to help to raise money for Kamala. Those groups of women, and you would be surprised who's involved in that. They have been doing that for years.
Yeah, the collective. There was a thing called the Collective PAC. There was a thing called what's it called? Yeah, Collective, and there was another organization that they created.
They've been doing that for years.
Well, to his question, or to what he's saying, it is a point that why we don't have another party too.
They knew that politically was the way to go, and that's what they did. That's what they did. And when they helped get them in that White House, they came up, they said, okay, this is what we want. And they got it. Why you think all the grants and things came down? That's what it was. This is what we want. And it was given to them.
And it sounds to me like they figured out that working within a pre-existing system and trying to change that is probably easier to do than creating a whole new party and trying to, get up with the big boys first before you could even implement changes or bring a different system.
So while the this is the reason why the independent, the Green Party doesn't get a lot of traction. So pretty much, again, we spoke about, we need another party. Well, they're I guess the organized committees, different groups around the country, colleges, just organizations, NAACP. They get behind somebody. They pretty much they're like, well, we're gonna put our stock here, and this is what works best at this moment. You need the numbers.
Big J, I'll do you another one, bruh. An example of black men organizing. The Million Man March.
How long ago was that?
Huh?
How long ago was that?
What do you mean? How long
Not
ago
to
was
mention,
it?
not to mention. I bet you
Was
money.
it for politics?
Men,
It was not for politics.
I bet you money. Men didn't organize that. I bet you them sisters organized the shit. I bet you them sisters organized that shit.
But I mean, overall, what was the ultimate agenda of the Million Man March? What was
Last
it? Was
one
it a
was
political thing? Was it
last one. I'm
organized
trying to answer
black
a question,
men?
bro.
No, hold on. Was
Last
it
one.
to organize black men and women, or was it a political organization or to organize politically?
Can I answer the question? It was 9 years ago.
New York, New York. I'm gonna tell you that Million Man March was a power demonstration for Farrakhan to try to show white folks the power he had with the black community.
Right.
That's all it was. That's all it was.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't put too much in the sense too, where it wasn't a thing that it was geared towards politics. You know, so maybe something like that.
I just wanted to throw that out there. He just put it out there. I mean, blankly saying.
I said, what did I say? What did I say?
He did say 6 years. He said in the last 6 years. I believe he said that first.
Right. The Million Man March happened in 1995.
Yeah.
All right.
And nothing came out of that. I said the last 6 years.
Well, do you think that's happening right now?
Well, Louis Farrakhan got at least $1 million out of that.
Damn, come on, Tom. let me ask you.
He did. He told everybody to donate $1, and
do you think
he got it?
Genius.
Big J, do you think that it's happening last minute
right
now
with $1
in these days?
Smart.
Big J, do you think that it's happening in these last days though? They're organizing now. Is it?
How is he robbing them when it's only $1? It's just 1 million people with $1. Like, that's genius, bro.
No, you're not. Let me just.
Don't have $1, bro.
let me say this about that $1, Anthony. Those men were motivated to go to Washington because they was looking for change. As a matter of fact, I think their motto was atonement. But let me finish. Please don't cut me off. I think that his motto was atonement, right? Atonement for America. Atonement for the way that we've been treated. So whenever you say that he didn't rob nobody, yeah, because none of that stuff got implemented. That he was talking about the change that's going to happen with these million black men getting together and all that kind of stuff. But he came out on top. He was grifted the motherfuckers for $1 million at least, and he did nothing.
The goalposts all over the place, bro. Y'all are moving the goalposts all over the place, bro. Isn't that? Wouldn't that?
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me hear what Lisa's saying.
One thing. Huh?
Go ahead.
But my only question is that an example of black men organizing?
Organizing to get shitted. So shit.
Oh my God.
No, Tyrone, it was a little more than that, and I will say that, and the women supported that march too. The women supported that.
Well, do you see that happening?
But overall, Big J is right. Black men don't organize politically. Let me stop because I watched Roland Martin out there doing hard work.
Where's your Washington, nigga? I want to go back in history, bro. We got a lot of examples of black men organizing.
We're talking about the last big years.
I'm talking about today, Anthony.
Black men all day, like
of course,
bro.
if it,
come on,
black men and black women for the civil rights movement, affirmative action.
We build each other up, bro.
Okay, I'm not saying in history, Anthony. Just calm down. I'm just saying like today, but I have to give Roland Martin credit, and I have to give there's other black men out there trying to get their voice out there too. So as a matter of fact,
I gotta call bullshit. I gotta call bullshit on Anthony's fake
only because it's
outrage.
Yeah.
His fake outrage. Because since I got the whole family here, y'all name for me one time that Anthony has came on here and disparaged somebody white for their negative behavior. But I can count on both hands and both feet how many times he's brought somebody black up. Y'all let me know when you get there.
Well, he's a Hebrew. That's what they do. You know, they love their white
Clearly
Jesus.
want to argue, and now he want to talk about the Bible and Hebrew.
No, I was trying to explain to Mama Boy your mindset, and you ain't got to respond to this, but the Hebrew Israelites, regardless of how much they scream racism, they love their white Jesus. So they full of shit, you know.
Well, I don't.
Is Jesus white? Is Jesus white or black, Anthony?
Well,
see,
they didn't call himself black back then. He was a a person of color.
Was he African though?
Better term. I don't want to get into that, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
I know you don't. So but hold on, but that's my point. That's my point. Now you got modern. You got modern. Let me say.
I got a good point because you don't want to deal with it no more. I got.
Well, let me just say this right here. You got modern Christians now trying to say that Jesus was black and all that kind of stuff, and I get it. But like I know that the Hebrew Israelites, they go by that damn Old Testament, and in that Old Testament, Jesus came from around the Mediterranean Sea. So he was not African. He just wasn't. So it is what it is.
He ain't in the Old Testament.
Huh? No, that's what I'm saying.
He's not in the Old Testament.
I know, but if y'all talk about him, that's how you're going to refer to him.
All there is about it is speculation. It's speculation. He ain't in the Old Testament.
Okay, well, we can move on. We can still talk about politics and your hate for Harris.
I don't hate her.
Are you gonna vote for?
Bro, I don't talk about who. No, I don't talk about that part.
Why speak? If you don't want to give us your viewpoint, why speak about it at all? Like, what's the purpose? Like, if you're not going, if you want to come on here and throw
really
salt,
to be a contrarian.
Listen to what I'm saying. If you want to come on here and throw salt at the campaign and what they're
really
doing,
make it known who they're supporting like that, bro. Only black people do that.
Okay, so we're grown people on this land and we make up our own mind. So we don't need your education on whatever you're saying, right? But if you got such strong opinions about politics, you should be at least bold enough to tell us what you're going to do.
I mean, you do understand context clues, right? Like you would be able to pick up on who I'm not going with, who I'm not rolling with.
Well, you're not going with Harris for sure. We know that.
Well, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna go with Trump. I could go with the Green Party. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just not gonna tell you where I'm going.
I think that you're not gonna vote.
I mean, maybe not.
Yeah.
So, hey, Tyrone, you have just won the weekly prize.
That's how a lot of these guys on social media do, man. They talk all that shit, but they don't show up at the polls.
Right, and the thing is, we got people on here, and I'm gonna say this: they have a warehouse mindset, right? They don't want to elevate their thinking to the next level, and it shows. Like, this whole thing about Harris is really about, we got to defeat the black woman, or the image of the black woman, right, in order to prop themselves up.
I think we got to build each other up, man.
To be equal. I'm talking.
To build black women up.
Be equal. Why are you talking? I'm talking. Now, that's what I see when I look at Phil the Azar show. That's what I see from the manosphere. That's what I see from the more I hear them talk, they don't come with no educated reasons why they don't like Harris or why they won't vote for Harris. For me, I feel like this. Shut up! I'm talking. Now the thing I said, right, is that the
association, bro.
Shut up! Now the thing I said is that for me, the reason why I'm against Harris, I'm gonna use like the Middle East policy, not calling out Benjamin Netanyahu out, him killing all these Palestinians, him making the Middle East worse than making the world a lot worse than what it is. What's going on in Ukraine, making that worse. That what I would say if I'm against Harris. But if you talk to any of these Negroes online, it's about Asian crime bill, the the so-called Asian crime bill, the this, that, and the third about with abortion, all these other stuff that has nothing to do with the context of the conversation. While at the same time, these guys are voting for a candidate who's against the Department of Education. When black men, when their demographic is at the second to the bottom of the least educated of men, or least educated among all groups within the United States, and who's being exploited by the criminal justice system. See, they ain't thinking on those terms, and it shows that these guys have a welfare mindset, they have a scarcity mindset, and sooner or later it's going to bite them in the ass if Trump wins.
I think they just Hawk Two brothers. That's it.
Hawk Tuah. No, Anthony ain't no Hawk Tuah. But Sergeant ABC is.
Well, hold on. I got to write that down. Hawk Tuah. Oh, I got to write that down. Hawk Tuah. I'll write that down. Oh, man. But yeah. And that's what I think there's a lot of insecurity going on.
Well,
because because a lot of these people only repeating what other people are saying. They're not having a different talking point. It's just the same thing across the board. So that's it. That's all.
Yeah, it's the same old stuff. It's always something negative, and it doesn't matter with any conversation. Like Anthony, I think you was one of the people that whenever the crimes happened in the black community, and we was focused on those murders by police officers, you was always one that came and gave a contrary point of view. It's the same thing with politics. You're just going to give whatever the other side is saying. I'm not saying that you're taking their side, but you have to be contrary for some reason. I don't know what that is.
Hawk Tuah.
Right. That's why Obama and I forgot the other guy went ahead and came out, because everybody sees this. Everybody see these criticisms. These criticisms does not fit the facts. It don't fit the facts.
Yeah, and a lot of black men were hurt when Obama was. I mean, I agree with him, but I don't agree with the way he said it and how he said it. Should have been like a different conversation. But he was absolutely right. When he was talking to black men.
Right.
Tyrone, can I ask you how should he have done it then?
I don't know, but the finger wagging posture is just not a good look. You know what I mean? I mean, those were black men, and I think that it could have been different.
I see what you're saying, but because he's not blind, and because he is intelligent, he see what goes on online.
No, he was on point with everything he said. But what that did was that set him up for a lot of people to retaliate in their little YouTube videos and all that kind of crap,
But the thing is, what I was glad that, because he could have did it on big stage at a rally, he didn't. He did it when it was kind of I don't know if he was in an auditorium or something like that.
I think that he was at like an election campaign headquarters when he talked to those guys.
And they were all sitting around having a talk together. Yeah. And I was just glad that he did it that way instead of like at a campaign rally.
Oh, in a stage, yeah.
Yeah, so I was glad that he didn't do it that way, because that would have looked really bad. But should he have just not said anything? Because he sees.
No, I think he should have. But I think that he's talented enough to have did it another way to not offend those guys. And you know how sensitive black men are. Black men are just sensitive, and they're gonna find anything negative to say. So,
Well, Tyrone, I sort of agree with you. Sort of. The only, I guess, thing that causes me to think a little different is that he knows the shenanigans that black men will pull too.
well, he do. That's why
And
you and
you
Elisa are
know what
right
I'm
about
saying?
that. Is that he got in their face and he said what needed to be said.
That's right. That's right.
So I mean, my whole thing is I just hate that it had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. I hate that had to happen. But a lot of black women was upset. I wasn't upset. I was like, well, that's between the men. That the men hashed that out. But a lot of black women, like Nina, the one who was in Congress, Nina, whatever it is, she was doing a lot of talking. And then the black women got upset with her. Okay.
Nina Turner.
Nina Turner, I love that woman.
Yeah,
she can go
now.
I
don't. Nina Turner.
You don't like Nina Turner?
No. I mean, I like what her causes and stuff, but I didn't like how she handled that because she came off as very pick-me-ish. And I just felt that keep your mouth out of that, Nina. Let the men handle that. And I think she came down a little because some of the talking points that she had as it related to that was not true. And it was true.
I'm going to have to push back on that for a minute, Lisa, because there is a point that Nina is trying to convey, right? Because I do agree with Tyrone that I believe though that was a mistake that Obama did. I think that was a mistake, right? It should have been somebody else that would have said it. It would have been better if somebody else would have said it instead of him, because it stirred up a hornet's nest and then it become a rallying cry. All it did became a rallying cry for these niggas online. And
but they wasn't gonna vote anyway, Jay New York. I mean, damn, Big J, they wasn't gonna vote for her anyway.
Right, but I'm talking about. Okay.
Think about this. Just give me a second. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it just caught my attention. Think about this, Jay. If they that flimsy to where they'll get up in their panties over something as simple as it's coming admonishment towards black men with all the rhetoric that's been on YouTube. Ain't nobody stupid. I mean, if it don't apply, you let it fly. But if you that fragile where it piss you off, now you ain't gonna vote for Kamala. You wasn't gonna vote for it anyway, bitch, nigga.
Okay, and I would agree with you, but knowing where Nina Turner's from Ohio, that's it's going to take. It's only going to be 2-3 counties that's going to decide the election. It's not going to be a state. It's not going to be a region. It's going to be a county. It's going to 2-3 counties that's going to decide. That's going to tip it over the edge. Walker County, Milwaukee County. That's in Wisconsin. That county and Walker County will be 2 counties that's going to decide the election. If you sit there and piss off at least 100 to 1,000 people, you can sway that state and sway the electoral college. So I see why she.
You're right, Big J. You're absolutely right about that. But then Mama's boy is too. Kamala ain't opened her mouth to them. Barack did that. So you gonna take it out on her because a lot of black men don't like Barack anyway. And don't think he don't know that.
Right. And a part of me agree with you, right? A part of me would agree with you because how many times these Negroes online will call Michelle a man? or she's a transsexual, or she's this. Because that's been going on ever since he was president. All them niggas online was siding with them white dudes, calling Michelle a man.
You're right. You're right.
So
not to mention, Big J, the quantifiably most human online that's saying Obama did nothing for black people are black men.
Right.
There's nobody on the internet. They even talk more shit about Obama than white men.
Yes, they do.
So
they don't like him
right.
anyway, and he knows this. He knows this.
Right, and my thing is on this too. This whole Obama never done anything for black people, and I keep on rolling out this. Okay, then how come from April of 2011 to January 2017, black unemployment dropped from 15% to 4%. But you don't see these people online mentioning that. Well, he ain't doing nothing for black people. Oh, wait a minute, it's right here. This is the proof. Black unemployment drops. There's more black people getting jobs. What are y'all talking about? And when you tell these clowns who are online, they got nothing to tell you. They don't back it up. They just repeat what other people tell them. Just like the Anthony.
That's why I was going down the road with Anthony whenever he came on here and said that Biden and Harris ain't did nothing. I was just going to go down Biden record because Biden did way more for this economy, for his black ass, than Trump ever did. So I don't see how they come up with that conclusion.
You know what they talking about, though? You know what they talking about when they say they ain't did nothing for black people. They talk about reparations. You know that's what they talk.
Well, that's just ignorant there.
Yeah, but that is what they're talking about. Because you could tell them all that other stuff, like what you and Big J are saying, but they're basically talking about reparations. And it's not like we deserve reparations, but we gonna have to buy that.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to buy it until we figure that out.
And then right. And then though, on top of that, right, this whole Obama, you know how people talk about the Asian hate crime bill, right? And I said, okay, well, if y'all read the bill itself, it didn't say anything about Asian people. The only time they said about Asians was the preamble. But if you read the bill itself, it didn't mention Asian. It didn't mention any race. So it wasn't an Asian hate crime bill. It was a bill Asians wanted to happen. You know, it's kind of like the civil rights bill. It didn't say black people on there. It says you should not do this based upon race or religion.
Exactly. But another thing, Big J, that they ignored by this anti-lynching bill. I hate to say this, but that was for black people.
Well, what bill? At least what bill?
Anti-lynching bill.
Oh yeah. See the hate crimes laws. See that's why I don't even talk to these people, because those hate crime laws they was put in place for fucking racism and hate against black people.
But that was put in place for everybody. But
the anti-lynching is definitely directed toward the black community.
Black people, It's sad to say, but that was directed for us. Sad to say, but it is.
But those Asians, the Asians needed some damn type of cover, especially when you had the president of the United States putting a damn target on their damn back.
Shit.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Tyrone, that's why those Central Park Five finna get paid. But they also, that's why you also had the voting rights bill for us.
Yeah, that was for us too. That was basically for us too. Yeah. So I don't know, but this is just my. People are going to get upset, but when Biden and them won the election, y'all remember when it was when they called it? They finally called it, and they had a rally. And y'all remember at the rally they all walked out. Kamala came out to Mary J. Blige and then Biden and his family. And when both of them, I said, ooh, this is going to be something coming up. When they both paid homage to, who did they pay homage to up on their main stage? Black women. And I said, that's not going to sit right with the men. It's not going to sit right with the men. And that's why, that's sad that he as a black woman thought that. When they was like, and black women, they did because Biden said it and Kamala said it. I said that's going to cause a ripple effect in our community because that's not going to sit well with the men that they're giving black women all this praise at their we're so happy to win rally, you know? And I was right. And as a black person that is part of the black community, I shouldn't have felt that way, but I knew what was coming, that it wasn't going to sit right.
Sister Lisa, black men just gonna have to get fucking used to it, because there's finna be a black Madam President, and they gonna have to just bow their damn head. That's all it is. That's all it is. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm tired of coddling these damn grown ass damn men. We holding these niggas in our arms like they some damn soft fucking rabbit. Like they just, the wind can't even disturb them. They'll catch a cold. Fuck these weak ass, pussy ass niggas. Get shit all up in their damn drawers because they scared of a black woman. Nigga, man the fuck up.
I don't know, but it's gonna be interesting once this election is over. It's gonna be interesting and to see how people are gonna conduct themselves because she gonna win. She got this, so it's gonna be interesting to see how we move forward with this.
I say we don't need them weak ass niggas in our crew. Let them go on over to Donald Trump. We don't need them weak ass niggas with us.
Don't say that, Mama Boy, because they part of the community, and I just hope they can get on board.
Well, sis, if I gotta jump back in, if I gotta jump back into the baby making pool to replace them niggas, just let them go.
But I gotta say, I kind of agree with Mama's Boy on this because there's a miseducation of black men, right? And it demonstrates of who they're listening to. Because just like one person on his phone who was on, I don't know if he hung up or not, but he don't know what a vice president does. Vice presidents don't make no policy. That might that only depends on who let me say the only thing the vice president does is be what? President of the Senate, right?
And they get orders from the president.
And that's their job. Their job is to do what the fuck the president tell their ass to do. That's their job.
Right.
That's what's on their application when they fill it out.
So it wasn't like she just sit there and just the border. I'm at the border. She does not control the border. She might review some policy about the border. Do some fact finding about the border.
She did what she was supposed to do. Joe Biden sent her to the Golden Triangle countries to work out some sort of deal to keep their people from coming to America, make their countries safe enough for them to stay in their own country. And she raised $5 billion of private money for them to build infrastructure and shit in Venezuela, Honduras, and the other. And so those people would quit coming to America. They'd stay in their own damn country. That's what the fuck she did. And guess what? She's been the most active vice president since the beginning of this fucking country. Ain't no vice president done more than she has, because most vice presidents don't do shit.
Right. Most vice presidents don't do anything. And here's the thing, since they don't want to talk about, well, she didn't do this. Okay, she's the first vice president since John Adams who had the highest record of breaking the tie in the Senate. With 33, no, it was more than 33 votes. John Adams had like 32. So she's been mostly active, but not the way these Negroes online, are on talking about the board. No, she did her constitution. What it says in the Constitution what her duties are. She fulfilled them. So I wish people would stop.
But they got that from Trump saying that why didn't she do all of that? And it's because you failed middle school civics classes. You don't know that the vice president don't create policy. Vice president don't do all that stuff that you're talking about because you failed middle school civics. I don't even know if they teach civics anymore in school. I don't know.
Ma'am, they do, but civics has slid down to elementary school. It's no longer in junior high. It's in elementary school. When you get to junior high, you're going into social studies. So that means you already know your civics.
You should know your civics by the time you get. But they need to put it back in middle school. I think so the students will have a better understanding of what they're learning. Because you got too many people out here still saying, why she didn't do this, why she didn't do that. And I just say, you could have learned that in civics class. Y'all didn't learn this in civics class, what the role of the vice president is. She can't do all that stuff. The vice president can't do all that stuff y'all talking about. They just can't.
Yeah, because it's only based upon the vice president's role is based upon who is the president and the personality of that administration.
And to me, Big J, there's one more very important thing has to happen before a vice president does anything. They got to get the orders out of the mouth of the president.
Right.
People just need to be looking at this race though and seeing who is qualified and who ain't. And Donald Trump ain't nowhere qualified. He wasn't qualified the first time, and he damn sure ain't qualified this time. Now that we didn't found out he committed sexual assault and got found liable for civil rape, even if that's a damn thing, and all these felonies, and we know that people gone to jail for him trying to overturn the election. Rudy Giuliani done lost his fucking house and his law license because of Donald Trump's lies. And there's been other lawyers that's done and failed by the wayside because of Donald. So this guy is disqualified from running. I don't get it.
Hey, Tyrone, there finna be one more, finna be a casualty of Donald Trump.
Who?
Elon Musk.
Nah, Elon Musk got too much money, man.
No, listen to me, hear me out. I know he got a lot of money, but if he thumbs his nose at the Secretary of State, District Attorney, and the state's prosecutor about this $1 million giveaway shit, he can still get convicted of a crime.
Well, he can, but I
they
mean,
sent him a letter. The DOJ sent him a letter. They sent him a cease and desist. They say,
Elon got
this shit you doing.
Elon
Go
got
ahead.
fuck you money, man. He got like fuck you government money. So I
And,
mean, yeah, you're
but
right.
but
They could still charge him and all that kind of stuff, right? But
well,
what weight will it
hear me
have?
out, Tyrone. Hear me out, Tyrone. I'm not saying you wrong. I'm just saying there's some gray area here. Just hear me out. I think he's got a problem with money if he loses his government contracts, and he stands to lose them. Fucking around with this fucking. It's called a unauthorized lottery.
Well, yeah, and you bring
That's
up
what they.
another point. I want y'all to think back when Stacey Abrams was in Georgia, and they had souls to the poll, and then they actually made a law in Georgia where it was illegal to give people water standing in line. Now, I want you to look at how they're responding to Elon Musk actually offering $1 million
Giving
fucking
$1 million.
dollars for damn voters. For black
Double
people
standard.
getting a bottle of water, they was getting charged with a goddamn crime. And here they are trying to just, tap Elon along and say, don't do that with your money. That's some bullshit.
It is.
But
It
I
is.
do,
But
but I do
I think
think it's come on. Go ahead, Mama Boy.
I was just saying. I think he could lose if he loses these government contracts. He ain't got them billions you think he do because he's underwater on Twitter. Right? Twitter's worth zero because it's 10. It costs 10 billion to own it, not 40, and it's $10 billion in debt. So it's actually worth zero, right? And he took that 40 billion he made, he spent on Twitter. He had 30 extra billion that he overspent. He also had some issues with SpaceX. And Tesla is really killing him because he's supposed to be getting money off of Tesla, but Tesla is actually underwater. Yeah, they.
Bleeding.
And remember, he fired all them employees out there. Elon Musk is hurting, bro. He ain't sitting like you think. I'm telling you. He hoping Trump win because that will save him.
That will save him. And if Kamala win this election, don't think. Well, first of
He's
all,
still gonna win a little bit.
She got to get rid of the DOJ. She got to get rid of the current one, put somebody else in that position. He got to go.
He's weak. They weak.
Yeah, man. I'm tired of that motherfucker Garland, man. Somebody need to put him on a Garland.
He's soft. He's trying to like.
Biden should have got rid of Garland. Why he let him stay in there is beyond me. But if Kamala win, he's
Biden
rid of Garland. And don't think that this country, along with the alphabet boys, is not coming after Elon. They are. Coming after Elon. Elon got a lot of money, but he ain't got that much money.
Well, if he had that much money, would he be chasing Trump, right?
I'm trying to tell y'all, Elon trying to buy a damn country now. Once he get America under his belt, he gonna go for the next country that he can get.
Well, see, another thing he gonna have problems with. Another thing he gonna have problems with, and it's forecast in the future. At least I am forecasting it because I've seen it happen to a bunch of motherfuckers. He ballooned the stock of Tesla and then sold some of it. It made like $40 billion.
But
and that's
the problem with our
that is
Justice
a crime.
Department. The problem with our Justice Department and like y'all saying, Garland and whoever's in there, they're not holding these people accountable for these financial crimes.
I agree.
Because Donald Trump is guilty of violating the Emoluments Clause for owning businesses while he was the president, for his children owning businesses. The fucking Justice Department should have been all over that shit. Jared Kushner got $2 billion from the fucking Saudis. And not only that, Donald Trump is still in goddamn association with the Saudis, with fucking the fucking Jewish guy, with Netanyahu, with Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
This Justice Department ain't doing shit about none of that stuff.
Had Biden got rid of Garland, it would have been a different story. Why he kept Garland?
I agree.
Yeah,
the only thing I'll throw on the table real quick, Big J, real quick. The only thing I'm gonna throw on the table is there may be some change going, and I'm not I'm not tooting nobody's horn. It's just what I've been reading. Elon may have an issue, okay, and yeah, the lottery thing could be a problem, but he's actually got even tougher issue coming up. I'm sorry, Big J. Go ahead. It'll come back to me. I'll tell y'all what it was. It was in my head and it just jumped out there.
I'm sorry about that. I think the reason why Garland was picked was out of favor because Garland was supposed to be on the Supreme Court in 2016, and never happened. And I guess Biden still was trying to obligate his promises to Garland. Instead, so he couldn't be Supreme Court judge. I'll make you Attorney General, and that's why Garland is there. You go on. I'm sorry. That was the point I was going to make up. I was going to make so.
But he should. But he gonna be gone. Kamala win this thing. Garland is gone.
Yeah, Kamala. I want Garland gone, and I want Blinken gone too. I want Blinken gone too.
Blinken gone. Yeah, he's gone too. Hopefully he's gone.
Because he didn't have no guts. He didn't have no guts against Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah. He going over there wasting taxpayers' money, taking these trips, and ain't shit getting done but motherfucking death.
No,
Netanyahu, he done bombed a whole new country. Ain't he in Lebanon fighting now?
Man, they're gonna take all
Lebanon,
that shit.
Iran.
Remember I said that. They're gonna take all that shit. Beirut. Watch because think about it, right? They're gonna have security. They're gonna bring in the security once they blow everything out. They're making people run. They tell you, listen, move out because we're gonna blow this shit up. They run out. They blow this shit up. They come in there. Right now, when you try to come back in there, now you got to go through their security. They're not letting your ass back in. Guess what? Once they clean that shit up, they're going to build developments. They're going to tell you, well, we can't do nothing for you because what used to exist doesn't exist anymore.
See, that whole bullshit about the United States saying they defending sovereign countries, that's some bullshit. They don't give a fuck.
Shit.
Yeah, and bombing Tehran. You went all the way to Iran and with all them Air Force jets and just bomb Tehran. I'm like, what the hell?
They playing with fire now.
Yeah. And that's what happened.
See, and then if you speak against that, you anti-Semitic. That's some bullshit.
Right.
You motherfuckers are tyrants. Goddamn Jews.
And then though,
I'm telling you, it's Netanyahu and the hard right wing over there. Netanyahu knows that the minute he's out of office, he's
going to jail.
It's time to get his shit going. He running it. He got the same problem Trump got. You ain't president, you going to Yale. So if you really look at it, yeah, Netanyahu is actually a madman on the switch right now, and he's actually hurting America with that posture. And I'm telling you, Joe Biden is that old school politician trying to keep everything looking good on the surface and work through the back channels. And at this point, he put it in America's face by coming over here speaking to Congress. He basically told, he called Biden.
But you know what the most fucked up thing that Netanyahu does? As soon as he leave Washington, he fly his ass right down to fucking Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
What kind of shit is that?
Why you think? What do you think? It's clear when you see things like that. It's like, okay.
And the Justice Department should be doing. Listen, the Justice Department should be doing something about that because we only got one goddamn president at a time. There is no way in the fuck Donald Trump should be controlling Congress and meeting with foreign fucking nationals. That has got to be breaking some kind of
He's
goddamn law.
interfering with government affairs.
Well, Tyrone, I have to disagree with you because Benjamin Netanyahu used to be was American citizen living from Philly. He's actually from Philadelphia.
Who, Netanyahu?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But Trump
So
keep meeting with Zelensky.
So like Benjamin Netanyahu being an American citizen, he can get away with that.
Yeah, I was kind of pointing fingers at Trump controlling and writing policy and controlling these politicians.
Right.
That shouldn't be going all at the same time while we got a president.
Isn't that interfering with government affairs?
That's why I said they got to be some kind of rule
got
against that.
Here's the thing though, Jay, is that okay? It's playing both sides, right? Benjamin Netanyahu is also an American citizen, but he's also prime minister of a foreign country. So if they drag it up to the courthouse, huh?
So it's a gray area now, is what you
Yeah,
said.
it's a gray area. So how is he going to do anything? He can't. I mean, what the criminal justice system going to do? Nothing. They can't. Because the only thing he's going to say, well, I'm there for personal business. And that's all he's going to say. I'm there for personal reasons. I ain't there for my country's reasons. I'm there for personal reasons. So when all he got to do is put in his back pocket, come out the back pocket, and say, hey, I'm from Philadelphia. I'm not from Tel Aviv. You know, I came as an American. I came out there as an Israeli. And people be like, oh, okay.
You just taught me something. I did not know that. He sure was
Right.
born in Philadelphia. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because back in the day. Now I was alive back then. So this is back in the late 70s. This was back in the late 70s, early 80s. He used to be on a TV show in Philly.
So
Philly and
Pittsburgh. Why the hell is his accent so heavy then? That's some bullshit, ain't it?
But he chooses to do that. You know he can speak English like
But he wants to. He talk Israeli accent when he needs to.
He does that.
Right?
He does
Yeah,
that
because
on
then he'll
purpose.
talk that American white accent when he needs to too.
Yeah, he speaks English just sound like the rest of us do. But I did not know that. He was born in Philadelphia. I learned something new. I had no idea. I looked that up. Big J is on the money with that. I did not know that.
Yeah. Because there was a documentary about how the Likud party became big in the 1990s. You remember when Arafat and what's his name? Rabin. You remember Prime Minister Rabin, the one he was assassinated? Well, what happened though? Benjamin Netanyahu went to Washington and New York and talked to the Republican Party officials in New York, right? And he came back with a strategy, with a political strategy, and to make it seem like that he turned his Likud party into the Republican Party, quote unquote, international. And lying there talking about he dashed all the peace agreements, I should say, between Israel and Arafat at the time. He did all that stuff behind Rabin's behind him after he died. And every little peace agreement he dashed because he linked himself with the evangelical community in America, like your naming your top evangelical preachers, your mega church like John Hagee, Jimmy Swaggart. Let me see who else. That's what happened. So
you're right. He has dual citizenship, so he can go to Florida if he wants to. There you bingo. Golly, I did not know that. Now I do. He does have
Yeah.
dual citizenship, so he can go wherever he want to go.
Because he was on a TV show on in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and even in New York talking about how the Arabs are evil. The Arabs is this. You know, we got to save those the children of Israel and I'm a Zionist. Woo, woo, woo. That's what he was saying. You know. So yeah.
Yeah, the crazy thing is Benjamin Netanyahu only started going that way when his ass got into legal trouble. That's when he started farming the hard right over there in Israel, because he was never like that until he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. And then folks wanted him up out of there, him and his government to fuck up out of there. And now all of a sudden he's got a never-ending war going. So,
right. But even the people in his cabinet want him gone. There's people that in his own political party that want him gone. You know, because they see him as a danger. They see him as more of a threat than the Iranians. You know. So yeah. And what's so bad about it is that, you know, to make things worse, is that North Korean troops are in Ukraine. I don't know if y'all aware of that.
I heard.
You know, it's not on J in theater for allies to train their soldiers, their young captains, their young colonels, how to fight in war. You know, so they use scenarios. America does it too. Don't think America don't do it. But when there's a conflict going on, just so there's soldiers who don't have not an ounce of battle experience, not for the past fucking 50, 60 years has the North Korean seen any battle experience. So that would be a good time to send them in there when Russia getting their ass whooped. Because you ain't gonna get no better trained soldier than in a losing situation. You're gonna have a really fine trained officer if they don't die in the process. So I'm just saying, don't overcook North Korean soldiers being over there. If you look, it's just a handful of officers. So they over there getting training, bro. They not over there doing nothing.
You said they get. I'm sorry. I put the phone down. They over there getting trained to get killed.
Yeah, it's not unusual for allies to send young officers that need war experience, that they plan on being in charge of you know, some serious probably people in their military. And maybe they need somebody to replace a general with war experience, or you see what I'm saying? So they'll send young soldiers, you know, captains, light colonels, you know, over there to get a little combat experience, you know, that makes them a finer soldier when they bring them back. You know, because especially when you take North Korea, they haven't been in any conflict around the world in 60 years.
That's true.
You know, so you got a whole 2 generations done flew through, and nobody on your cadre got combat experience. You know, so you got a neighbor like Russia, they in trouble anyway. Hey man, can I send me some soldiers over there to get some experience before you fucking get your ass whooped? You know, that's not unheard of. That's not unheard of.
And what the hell is taking Russia so long to beat Ukraine? Jesus,
man,
because they getting their ass whooped, Tyrone.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Ukraine invaded Russia. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, wait a minute. At first, I'm kind of worried that they invaded Russia, though. It was more like, okay, well, you don't have, then therefore you kind of justifying the reason that nuclear weapons might be used if you're invading a nuclear power. At this point, you know, because like they went into Russia. and taking over towns in cities. So I'm just sitting there like, well, that might justify Putin to do what everybody's scared of him. He might do.
Nah, he ain't that stupid. And think about this, Jay. Think about this, Big J. How big of leverage do you think Ukraine has when now they can look at Putin and say, "Get the fuck out of Crimea"?
Well, like Crimea is still in Russian hands, though.
That's what I'm saying. So when Ukraine got half their little cities and towns, a couple of 100,000 of they folks, and they want Ukraine out of Russia, they can say, "Well, you get the fuck out of Crimea."
True. A negotiation point. Negotiation.
Well, you forcing leverage. That's what you're doing. You're forcing leverage. The motherfucker don't want to give you leverage, but you weasel away in to get some, and now they got to listen to you. It's kind of like, kind of like how the Taliban be doing motherfuckers. They'll take a bunch of people, kidnap them, and then next thing you know, they're depending on who they kidnap, depending on how much leverage they got. Well, Ukraine just says, if it's good for you to come over here and take my shit, then I'm gonna go over here and take some of your shit, and we'll see how that works.
But the crazy thing is, we all expected this was gonna be over, and it's not over. Russia showed.
That's because Putin won't. That's because Putin won't quit. Yeah, but it's kind of like the Netanyahu thing, sis. It's kind of like Benjamin Netanyahu. Putin situation he's Benjamin Netanyahu. As long as he's pursuing it, some people got to defend themselves, And it looks like me, So take me and you, sis. Although this will never happen, if we got into a squab or an argument, it may look like you fighting if I'm constantly the aggressor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you might be whooping the dog shit out of me. But as long as I'm pushing forward, you're gonna have to keep defending yourself.
That's true.
And nobody can blame you for that.
But Russia showed the world what type of shape they're in militarily by starting this whole thing. Because they should have been finished this off, and the fact that they haven't, they can't. And they showed the world what they really working with.
That kind of explains why you see North Korean soldiers in Russia fighting, is because Putin had to ask Kim Jong-un for munitions, for weapons, because he's out of them. He's out of weapons. So he had to make a deal with Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un don't use his arsenal. This motherfucker got thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of rockets over there he don't even use. So that's the reason why you still seeing this shit going on. That's why you still see it still going on. It's supposed to be over with, but Putin won't stop. He cutting deals, to keep, you know what I'm saying? So until he reach rock bottom and can't go no more, and you see his soldiers are already, they said, fuck fighting. You ain't even paying us. We're not even getting paid all this time we've been out here. So just give it, time. It sounds crazy because so long been going on, but knowing how stubborn Putin is, he probably wouldn't do anything till the new administration came in anyway.
All right, guys, so I got to get off here. I'm gonna open up the lines and YouTube. I'm getting ready to shut y'all down. Y'all can call in to the number. It's in the description of the show. I appreciate everybody for calling in. Elisa, Mama's Boy, Big J, Ant, Joe, New York, Jay, New York, and Joe. And Miss Lady.
Tyrone, when I come back next Thursday, the election be over.
Yeah, we'll have a new president then. Hopefully it's President Harris.
President-elect Harris.
Yeah, I mean,
I call it. She's gonna be the president. So next Thursday
Listen. That shit tighter than a Dick's hat band. That's what we used to say in the
I
army.
think they gassing us up. They gassing us up.
Oh, that's something I wanted to tell y'all.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
Go
Touch
ahead.
the Midas Touch. They got a deal on there where they have I guess his son was interviewing the two major pollsters that all the campaigns and AP and everybody get their information from these two guys all over the nation, and they was explaining that Donald Trump, the Republicans have ballooned up their polling because their poll workers haven't been going knocking on nobody's doors,
Well,
taking
that's what
no
Elisa
poll.
was saying last week, is that, the polls may look a little funny because they're
And they
fucking
said
with them.
MSNBC did a show about it, I think yesterday, about how the polls got the Republicans. They finally saying it now.
But
Now
what
that the
I'm
alternative media, like the Midas Touch and stuff, it's
well,
not
what the
as
polls
low
is
as
counting
people say.
is what the polls is counting is voters and likely voters and shit like that. What I'm concerned about is the people that are in place that are willing to go to jail for Donald Trump, that is going to corrupt the system, because that's going to happen. So that may
That's gonna happen.
yeah.
Tyrone,
So,
that's gonna happen regardless. But that has something to do with that the polls are not as tight as people think they are.
no,
But
and that's
Trump,
why I was saying that it's going to be tight, because these people ain't going to hold white people accountable for some goddamn reason, especially if it's Republican. So if you got somebody breaking the damn law,
I see what you mean.
But they already setting the thing up. But Trump keeps saying, I'm leading in all the polls. I'm leading in all the polls. So when they lose, his thing is to get his people riled up. So
Yeah.
we just have to see how that's going to work.
Well, they're going
But
to
as far as
cheat.
the polls being,
They're telling
as
us
far
they're
as the
going to
polls
cheat.
being all that tight, the polls are not that tight.
They're telling
Not
us
as
they're
tight
going to
as
cheat,
they're
and
saying.
Kamala Harris is doing everything by the damn book. That woman is not doing anything wrong. Clearly, Elon Musk is paying people $1 million, which is against the goddamn law. Ain't nobody saying shit about that.
But just because he's paying people this money, that don't you vote however you want to vote. If he was going to offer me $1 million, I'd go get it because I'm going to vote for whoever I'm going to vote for.
Oh,
Like,
I
I've
just
already
pointed that
voted.
out to show you the extent of cheating that they're going to do.
Oh,
You know,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, they get. And then another thing, this is the last thing that I'm going to say for everybody who's going to be watching the returns. I'm not going to watch the returns. I always wait till later in the night.
Oh, I
to see
watch.
where
I be
things are
sitting
at.
on the edge of my seat.
Tyrone, I'm right there with you, dog. Right there with you. Me and Ben Kornacki, but we be eye to eye the whole goddamn.
But the thing is, just be aware. This is the last thing I'm gonna leave you with of the red wave, the red mirage. Every election, the Republicans always look like they leading and winning and stuff in the beginning because they count the areas where the white Yahoo people live. The more spread out, theirs get counted first. So just be aware. Don't let your blood pressure go up because you're going to see the red mirage in the beginning. You gotta wait till later this evening, in the evening, because that's when they start counting the votes where all the people who are all packed in live at. That's our vote. So just be aware of the red mirage. That's what I was trying to tell people. Don't get upset in the beginning when it looked like Trump is winning, because that was their strategy last time. I was winning, and then all of a sudden there was dumps of votes, and that was called the red mirage that a lot of people are not familiar with. It always looks like the Republicans are winning in the beginning. You gotta wait till they get to us, and that's when the numbers start changing. So I'm gonna leave you with that. Don't let y'all blood pressure get up when y'all see the red mirage in the beginning. And then I'll be back next Thursday, so I'm getting ready to go to. It was great talking to you guys. No
All right,
fingers
sis.
crossed. We got this. We got this.
All right, have a good
Look,
night. And
peace. I'm gonna recommend everybody. I'm gonna recommend everybody get them